Hello everybody and welcome back to Learn by Play here on the D&D channel. We're in Encounter Roleplay and we're back for another episode. We've got a little bit of a showdown going on tonight, so I'm very much looking forward to this one. Let's go around the cast and crew first of all and let's figure out who we are and who we're playing today. We've got Tool School with us up there. Tool School, how you doing, my friend? Welcome back.
I am doing good. I watched the episode. I'm so glad that you all didn't get in any trouble while I was gone, that everything went real smoothly. Nice little journey down into the fun and excitement that is, this reliquary or whatever. This is going to be fun. Lich. Yeah.
No big deal.
Anyway, I am Tall Squall. I am playing Miguel Otanavo, who is our celestial Asimar warlock, who is hopefully going to help keep us all alive. We'll have to see, but I am really excited about it. I'm glad to be here on the Dungeons & Dragons channel, playing a little Learn by Play, and let's see what happens, folks.
Let's
Time to tell a story.
Absolutely. We've got Sid with us tonight. Sid, how you doing?
I am good. I kind of have a headache. I'm a little bit tired, so I'm hoping this game will fix it, because that's how D&D works. I'm playing Farron. She is a half-elf fighter. After all these level ups, she's taken the archetype as Arcane Archer. Got a lot of magical arrows. I'm ready to shoot them.
Absolutely. Good stuff. We've also got Greg with us tonight. Greg, how you doing, my friend?
Buddy, I am ready. I am Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and the Twitters, but none of that matters because tonight we are face to face with a lich, a betraying traitor lich that was one of our own mere moments ago last week. But tonight, there's only one thing to do, and because I saw him last week, I will quote the great Tortle Ubo. I hate liches. Let's go.
And last but not least, we've got Chelsea with us tonight. Chelsea, how you doing?
I'm great. I'm good. I'm glad to be here. This will be actually the second lich I fought this weekend.
Damn. How did the first one go? Yeah. I mean, we 2 for 2 here, or is this not so good?
Well, we broke his phylactery and then banished it to another dimension, so that was cool. And then we died. So I'm left at the bottom of the Tomb of Horrors at the moment, that character. Bye. So tonight, I'm hoping not to die. I got a 50-50 chance, I feel like. 1 out of 2, right?
Yeah.
1 out of 2. Yeah, so, I'm so stoked to be here. Rufus Big B is our lovable teddy bear of the group. He is a Sun Soul monk who really just wants to bring some light and warm soup into the world. And here he is face to face with his least favorite lich. So yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Great stuff. As for myself, my name is Will. I'm a D&D Stacks icon, and I'll be their Dungeon Master for tonight as we head back into another episode of Learn by Play, the show in which we do actual play, and of course, help you guys create your own homebrew worlds and give some DM tips throughout the show. Today's episode is on creating history. We're going to be writing history today for our worlds, my friends. But before we do that, we're going to have to remind ourselves of what happened last week on the show, as the players find themselves now facing off against, well, not only one lich, but kind of two. They headed down into the Dark Arcanum, seeking one of many of Asarak's phylacteries for Valindra Shadowmantle. The former apprentice of High Mage Esmeralda, was seeking it and breaking into the magical world of Avalon, which the players were defending. Headed down to the Dark Arcanum with a creepy old guy named Casimir. They met perhaps one of their old friends, Ubo from Season 1, who had turned into a bit of a deathly version of himself, protecting the Dark Arcanum. They then met a little girl named Nepeta, who was dead, and bound here by her brother, who she kept referring to. She led them through until they reached a boat. They met there as they converged with Ras Ni, the Yuan-Ti abomination, who had been trapped after the events of Season 1 down here in the Dark Arcanum by Asarak. He cut a deal with them and said that he will show them the correct way to get to Asarak's phylactery if they do a little favor for him. Find the Orb of Domination, which is hidden away and which is binding him in this place. The party, joined by a new companion who had kind of materialized in this place. I've forgotten her name. Was it Alero? No, it wasn't Alero. That's a different character I'm playing of.
Alora.
Alora, that's right, Alora, yes. And she, with their assistance of Alora, she managed to learn a little bit about Asarak's past. There was a couple of traps and a couple of fun bits where they almost died, but it was good fun. She then learned that Asarak was once a boy. Alora, I think you're right, Wondrake, yeah. Alora, Valindra, it's clues in the name, I guess.
Lindy, Valindra.
Valindra, yeah. A little bit about Asarak's past. Was once a boy named Ferris, who the party have actually already met. Ferris, before he became Asarak, created a simulacrum of himself, sent it into the Forgotten Realms. He's been living here for the past couple of thousand of years, who's also been interacting with the party. Upon gaining this knowledge, they kind of double-crossed Rasni a little bit, and didn't set him free immediately, much to Rufus's chagrin, and instead they're keeping the Orb of Domination, and they have not decided to let go that Hydra, because Valindra is apparently on the way. At the end of the show, they ran into Ferris, who they know now to be one of the phylacteries of Asarak, a powerful version of Asarak before he turned into a true Lich. And Alora revealed herself to be Valindra Shadowmantle in disguise, because she can do stuff like that. And Lindy betrayed the party at the last moment, and turns out she's bad all along. Now they are facing off against a Lich and the Simulacrum phylactery of Asarak, who seems to be pretty dead set on killing them. Yeah, that's a thing. So let's dive into the story, but before we do, it's been a couple of weeks since I've asked you guys, so let's just get a visual reminder of what you guys look like. We're down in the Dark Arcanum, so there's not a lot of light down here. You're standing on a shore. Before you is the boy Ferris, and next to you is Alora, who's revealed herself to be Valindra Shadowmantle. So let's just go around the cast and remind ourselves what you guys look like. So, Miguel, what does Miguel look like?
Well, Miguel is from Azteca, so he is very much Mesoamerican looking, quite handsome. He has very brightly colored armor, which have the colors of a parrot, very much so. So it's got bright blues and greens and reds. In fact, the leather is shaped to look like feathers. He has a long feather sort of ear cuff that he wears as well. He wears a sort of Aztec type kilt, sort of wraparound kilt sort of idea that is a bright emerald green along with bracers. He's got red sort of crimson snake bracers around his wrists and around his ankles. And his eyes are actually sort of rainbow colored, like color wheels that you sort of see when you're picking out colors for your house or for whatever your art project might be. And he is sort of swarthy and very, very much out there for all to see, and enjoys things. He basically his method and motto in life is, what would you do if you knew you could not fail? And that is how he proceeds through life.
Great stuff, great stuff. Sid, what does Farron look like?
So Farron is a half elf, so she's got shorter, pointier. She's half sun elf, so she looks very sun-kissed. She's freckly. She's got long red hair. She's mid-height, like average height, about 5'5", and she wears a cropped, like military-esque shrug and a corset and tight pants for doing flips and tricks and things, because she used to be a performer in the circus. And she's got a nice, like, gilded, shiny bow with the magical arrows and a quiver to match.
Great stuff. And Greg, what does Zephyr look like?
Well, Zephyr is an Air Genasi barbarian. He has, let me go this way. He has blue skin with raised tattoo markings all over his face, most of them depicting items of either piracy or nature or the wind. His blue, somewhat lavender hair, when darkened, constantly blows as a wind seems to buffet his being at all times. He stands relatively tall. He's 6'2", 6'3". He's thin of frame, but very dense in muscle. And his eyes are another shade of blue, and electricity now jumps between them. whether or not he is experiencing his blessed unrest, which is his rage.
Awesome. And Rufus, what do you look like?
Well, Rufus is your average human, except he's giant. He is about somewhere between about 320 and 350 pounds on average. He stands about 6'1". Pretty hefty dude. He is humble in attire. He wears very simple like burlap and wool style robes, very similar to what you might see a monk wear. And he is bald on both his head and his feet, as he wears no shoes. And he has a burly beard that kind of pokes out from underneath his rosy cheeks and his nose. And on his back, he carries a rather large barrel, in fact, as a backpack, where he keeps the very few belongings that he owns. And he tops that off with a nice little walking staff that he uses when he needs to.
When he needs to.
Oh, and he has a tattoo in the middle of his forehead. I should mention that. That's important now. The sun symbol sits, the astrological sun symbol for the sun sits in the middle of his forehead and has been charcoaled, burned, tattooed in.
Great stuff. So the group of you stand on this dark shore deep underground with the phylactery simulacrum that is Ferris. Appears to be a young boy, but you know him to be far more powerful than that after the display of magic. And Valindra shows herself, removing her disguise and showing that live and elven but clearly undead, with flesh just sloughing off from her face, standing in front of you. She holds, I believe, at the moment, the Orb of Domination, unless anyone else is holding it. I'm pretty sure she does. So without any further ado, as Ferris has killed them all, Miguel, we're going to cut to you.
Well, I actually have a question, just because without being here last week.
Yes.
Have we long rested while I was gone?
I don't remember the last episode if you did a long rest. I'm pretty sure there may have been a short rest, but that's up to you.
So
guys
yeah, that's what I was
remember.
trying to think. If it's been all the way since the ship, I think might be since we had our last long rest.
Could well be.
Okay, I will stick with that then.
Okay, so we're going to cut to you, Miguel, and you go through. We'll cut back in time just a little bit, so you get your little time with Nepeta. So this is before you've met with Rasni, but we'll say for the ease of things that you meet back up with the party once you get to that scene. So you walk through the darkness alone, your companions having gone ahead of you, and you find yourself walking through darkness. And it's not long as you're walking through this darkness that you feel something grabbing your hand. It's another hand in yours, and you look down and you see a little girl, maybe 8, 9 years old, in a little dress, clearly undead, quite clear to the touch. Her hand is incredibly cold. She looks like there's no possible way that her skin is really still on her body, and she's walking along with you with your hand in hers.
Why, hello. Who are you?
Hello.
I don't know where that accent came from, so let me get that right.
It's so good.
Great. My dear, why are you down in this place? I see that you are not with the living anymore, but why are you still on this plane and have not moved on?
Well, that's a lot of questions. Well, my name is Nepeta. I'm dead, and I'm kept here because I have a purpose, which is taking you to wherever it is you want to go.
Well, I am here because there's great danger. There is a great evil that is coming this way, and it is me and my friends who I think it has fallen to try and make a difference in the world, to find, in fact, our purpose. I'm hoping that you will help us.
I will. That's my purpose here, is to help anyone that comes through to find where it is they want to go.
So, we are searching for information on the phylacteries of Asarak. We have heard that what happened in Schult was not a final rest for him. That is, he shall be returning.
Yes.
If he can just reconnect with those.
Were you in Schult?
I was not at the Soulmonger as it was destroyed, but I was there while many adventurers came and went. I was a bit on the cleanup crew, you would say.
Yeah. What was it like?
It was a time of great deeds and of great tragedy. It was exhilarating, but terrible. Legends to be made and lost forever.
Did you make your legend there?
I did not. I believe that perhaps my purpose is to find my legend and make my name elsewhere. That is, I follow the great god Kotal. He is my patron, and I am to find my place amongst all of this before I return back to my village and my family.
What will they say about Miguel?
I think that remains to be seen, but I hope above all else they will say he was a good man, that the people and the lives he touched were better because of him, in whatever small way that he was able to do so.
That's nice. I hope they do say that about you. I hope they do talk about you.
So, my friends, they have come this way as well.
Yes, your friends and another one.
This other one, she is new to our group. I'm concerned.
Like, I suppose that's normal. There was something about her that I didn't like.
That is interesting, as I assume over the time you have spent here, you've become a very good judge of character.
I see a lot about people. That's my curse and my gift, I suppose.
What do you see about me?
I think you're searching for purpose. Maybe this is yours. But you look so... You look like someone that should be in the sun.
Well, I do like the sun, and I look down at her and I go, you see, the reason why I look this way is so that I can bring the sun to the dark places wherever I go.
This is a dark place.
It is, but perhaps for just a moment, you forgot the darkness and remembered the sun yourself.
It's been so long. I don't really remember what that's like.
The sun. It is both joy and freedom and wonder wrapped up all together. I hope you will find it again someday.
So do I. And up ahead you see that there's a little boat with a bell at the end of it. This is for you.
Is there anything I can do to help bring you back to the sun, my child?
Your friend Zephyr knows. There's only so much I can say.
I understand. He sort of reaches down and sort of gets her on the chin and just... Perhaps a last smile, then. And he sort of lets his prismatic eyes sort of light up and glow a little bit like the blue sky in a rainbow.
You see a smile as the boat begins to carry you away.
Until we meet again, Nepeta.
She holds up a hand as you go.
And he waves back.
So we then move forwards in time as you meet with Rasni, go through the Order of Domination, and arrive back at the shore. where the party are now stood before Ferris, Valindra, who has the Orb of Domination, and a fight is about to erupt. So, without any further ado, let us roll some initiative. Let's do it.
Nice.
All right.
Alrighty.
Not too bad, not too bad.
Alright, let me
Not
get
too
up my thingies. So, Miguel, what do you got?
I've got a 15.
Nice. Farron, what you got?
15 as well, but his dex is higher.
Okay. Rufus, what you got?
14.
I like what you got. Zephyr, what you got?
10. You asked us in the exact order of our initiative.
That is...
Yeah.
There you go. Alright, so I've got to roll some initiative now. There's not a button for it. I'm going to roll it. Ha! Foiled by my own petard. So that is... Oh, Valindra a +3, but I think she's tied with Farron. So, Farron, let's do a roll-off. Just roll a straight d20 and we'll see who gets higher on this one. She's got a 5.
Hang on, I'm coming. 4.
That's unfortunate, isn't it? Okay. Alright. It's gonna be one of those days.
It's not my day today. I could tell when I got up. It just wasn't gonna be.
No, not one of those. Alright then, so we've got Miguel on a 15, Valindra on a 15, Farron on a 15, Rufus on a 14, Ferris, the Lich, on a Phylactery I guess, on a 12, and Zephyr on a 10. Miguel, it is your turn. You're about 10 feet away from any enemy combatant at this point, and you're close to your party.
Miguel, looking at this situation and having theoretically potentially 2 liches right here, I spot Valindra with the old Orb of Domination, and thinking our best bet is to try to get some help from Rasny. So I am going to cross my fingers, guys. I'm going to cast Hold Person on Valindra.
I like the sound of this. Alright, what's she got to make?
She has got to make a Wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed.
Pretty good at wisdom.
Oh no!
22.
Ugh. Yeah, it's a 15. So
Yeah, you watch as she kind of just like holds up a hand and almost like dispels the magic away, and smirks.
Valindra.
What are we gonna do with you, girl?
What are we gonna do with you? And bonus action, I do not think I've got nothing else that I can do. Yeah, I'm going to. They're 10 feet away from me, so they don't get an opportunity attack right off the bat. Oh, that's an action. So yeah, I am going to take a step back or two, knowing that I might have to help keep my party alive. So I just back up a few steps.
Nice. Alrighty. That is Miguel's turn. That takes it to Valindra's turn. Yay! Everyone's favorite lich. Alright, let's see. There's that. We're going to put that there. Alright, so she does not like the look of any of this. So, she is going to... Ooh. There's so many fun things. I look at Alicia's stats and I'm like, God,
I'm sitting there like, okay, first off, none of us have more than 100 hit points, so let's just start with that.
Yeah, right.
Alright, we're going to... Yeah, let's do that. So, she's going to reach out and touch you, Zephyr, moving 10 feet towards you. Zephyr, roll me a DC 18 Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so she's touching me, which means that she's within 5 feet, correct?
That's right.
Okay, I take my reaction with Mage Slayer and attack her
Do it.
as she does so.
Get him. The orb is in one hand.
Can I knock that out? No.
If you, I mean, like if you roll well, maybe. Let's see that attack roll.
How's a 14 strike you?
14 is not a hit.
Oof.
Not quite.
All right, so you said Constitution,
Constitution.
and she is within, so I get advantage since she's within 5 feet with Mage Slayer.
That's the one.
Nice.
Nice!
20.
Boom!
Yeah.
You needed that. You needed that, my friend. Yep.
When she touches him, he takes her finger and moves it off of him. Not today.
It's the one
Nice.
finger. Nice. Okay, so that is Valindra's turn. Very nice. Farron, it's yours.
Okay. Yes, I'm gonna use another one of my fancy arrows I got.
Good idea.
So I'm gonna, before I go into all the details, I'm just gonna fire and see if it actually hits, because if it doesn't hit, it doesn't do anything.
Okay.
So, a 17?
17's a hit.
Okay, so first thing, that is 7 damage, and the second thing is
Nice.
I use this grasping arrow. Now I'm a little bit confused, so if you guys know this, help me decipher a little bit. I'm not ashamed of not knowing it exactly. Let's just get this straight. Okay, so he creates a grasping poisonous brambles which wrap the target. And then, so towards the bottom it says, the target or any creature that can reach it can use its action to remove the brambles with successful strength check against your DC. So does that mean when I hit it with this arrow, the brambles and stuff is automatically there, and then they have to see if they can get out of it later? Or do they need to do a save first?
Does it say that they're grappled? Is that what it says? That they're grappled by or something? Is there
No,
word?
it gives them an extra 2d6 poison damage, and their speed is reduced.
Okay, so it's a speed reduction. So it's basically it's a train.
Terrain.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Right, okay.
Uh-huh. So does she need to make a save like immediately, or does she just have these grasping stuff
I think
around
she's
her
gonna
and on her
make.
next?
Yeah, she should make a save, and then you'll see if you do the poison. And if she fails the save, she has to keep making the save each time.
Okay. Well, then she needs to make a strength save.
All right, she will, and that is a 6 on strength. She's not a strong girl.
That's not good. That does not do well. Okay, so now she is covered in grasping poisonous brambles, and they've wrapped around her, and she takes an extra 2d6 poison damage, and her speed is reduced by 10, and then
All right.
she takes an extra 2d6 slashing damage on the first time of her turns that she tries to move.
Cool. Okay. Good.
Yay!
That's good. Nice. The arrow itself, while it embeds in her skin, like the flat, arrowhead doesn't look like it does her much harm, but the poison and the roots definitely look like they're a lot more effective on her. All right, then that is Farron's turn. Farron, do you want to move it all? Yeah, go ahead.
Wait. I want to use. I want to try and use my action surge while she's like now covered up in all these brambly things.
I like it.
To see if maybe I can, I don't know, knock this orb out of her hand, or maybe just go get it or something, because she's pretty slow.
You could make an athletics check as your extra action to grab it out from her hands.
That's what I want to try to do.
Yeah, so use your move to get next to her. Your
Can it
action
be
surge.
acrobatics?
It's definitely an athletics. Just pull it out of her grasp.
Oh, okay, pretty sure.
Yeah, no jumping involved, unfortunately.
Okay.
So she doesn't have anything in athletics, so we'll do it opposed. Let's roll a 15.
come on.
Oh. Alright, not quite. Okie dokie. So that is Farron's turn. You're next to Valindra at this point. Okay.
Great. Well, she can't really move though, and if she does try to move, she takes a lot more damage.
This is true. Alright, Rufus, it is your turn.
All right, Rufus sees the plan in action and is going to run over, and he's going to make the athletics check to rip it from her grasp.
That's a good idea. Oh, baby! That's an 18 from her, not enough. Rufus, you just kind of like pop it out of her hands, and
I go, whoa, now, do we run?
I don't know. I think so. She can't really move after this. Ferris taught me this.
Yeah, and then I look to the two gentlemen as if like I need direction. I have the thing, but I don't know where to pass the ball. You know.
We need to get to Razni.
so
We need to get to Razni so he can Keep them busy.
A little bit of like note keeping for you, Chelsea. You can use a bonus action to use the orb.
Oh, okay. I don't know how to. Do I need to know how to use is it like genie lamp? Rufus is like, Mr. Hydra,
Yeah.
we need some help here. We're coming to you. It's the Lich.
What kind of help?
The bad lady, Valindra, she's after us.
I'm a little busy right now. I don't.
No. We're going to let you free, but you got to make sure we live. If we don't live, you don't get us
I'll
free.
be right there. And I'm gonna roll initiative for Rasny to see when he comes into his turn order.
Yes.
See what his Dex +1. There it is. So plus
Little
1 to
busy right now.
7. So he's at the end of the turn. So he's gonna appear shortly. Rufus, anything else?
Can I, I'd like to, oh no, I guess I took movement. Any distance I can get off of her so she can't reach out and grab me, even if it's just 5 feet would be nice.
Okay. Yeah, you probably have remaining movement to use. It's
Okay,
only
cool.
10 feet away.
Oh yeah, so I'll back up just about another 10 feet or so and get some distance off of her now that I've got the orb.
Okie dokie, so that is Rufus' turn, takes it to Ferris's. Reminder, Ferris isn't truly a lich, he's a copy of Asarak, the mage, before he became a lich.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily have such a bad time. But let's see what Ferris is going to do. Bunch of you guys sort of in a group together, it looks like, yeah.
No.
Let's see,
Are we really?
Let's use,
To the orb.
so 20 feet, isn't it? Yeah, so he's going to do that. So 20 feet, Zephyr's close to her, Farron's close to her, so is Valindra. And Miguel and Rufus have moved away. So Farron and Zephyr roll a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, so I can see this coming, so I get advantage, right?
Yeah, if that's a thing.
Oh
Didn't need it.
Nice.
no! Oh, this is.
I don't like this game.
Half of that for Zephyr. 16 for Farron. As a bolt of black fire just throws itself out from Ferris's hands towards you. The same chaotic energy which burned down his home and killed Nepeta all those thousands of years ago. He's also going to move, using his move action, to move 30 feet away from you and into the house. Just a reminder, there's the burned down house in front of you. He has moved into that.
Right.
So he's there. Zephyr, it is your turn, my friend. You're in front of Valindra.
Okay, so for the first time in the campaign, Zephyr is going to unhook his gun rig that he wears, and instead of grabbing the shield and the hammer, he instead grabs the hilt of the greatsword that's on his back. And as he finally pulls it free, the blade itself is rutted and pitted. You can actually see through it in places, as it looks like honed coral as he pulls it from the blade. And the crossbeam looks identical to the crossbeam on the Tempest Beloved, as he stands in front of Valindra and says, "Well, deep shaft. Let's see how deep it goes." And he is going to attack with a reckless attack, and hopefully, with his rage, let's see what we can do. 22?
22 is gonna do it.
14 slashing, and then he is going to do his let me see, what's my storm aura that he pulls forth is a d6. I'm just gonna roll it. Oh, it's a dex save, I'm sorry.
Dexterity saving throw for Valindra, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dex is a 19.
Yeah, that'll do it. So she will only get half of that, whatever, 2.
Nice. 7 and
62.
Nice. Math is happening. Cool. Good stuff. That is you, Zeph. Anything else?
He's going to stay engaged with her.
Nice. All right. At this point, you see bursting forth from the dark waters behind you the 5-headed Hydra, you anti-abomination that is Razni. Anything for freedom. And he is going to do a couple of things. So he's going to bite in with his head down on Valindra. for a reach of 10 feet. Oh, first one's a nat 1, that ain't gonna do it. Second one's a 17, which is gonna hit. Let's do that damage. Can we do that, please? 1d10 plus 5. 9 points of damage on Valindra as the Hydra Rasni just kind of bites down and chews through her undead flesh, which is parts off quite easily for a creature such as Rasni. It takes a couple more. He's got 5 heads, remember?
All right.
Third attack hit, fourth attack miss, and fifth attack hit. So we've got another 2 bouts of damage to do there. Extra 14. Oh, nice.
Nice, Max.
9. Beautiful, beautiful. So that is Rasni's turn, helping the team out there. Quite a big deal. Just like ripping through her flesh as 5 different heads. Valindra is not pleased. It's the top of round 2, and it is Miguel's turn.
So we saw Ferris ran into the house.
Ran into the house, that's right, yeah. He kind of cast a fireball and fled.
Let's deal with things one thing at a time. So because I have reach on my glaive, I'm only going to get within 10 feet of Valindra. And because it is a packed weapon, it is magical damage. And I am going to... what do I want to do first? I'm going to go ahead and... I'm going to do this because I've got a feeling we might need it later. So I am going to go ahead and try to attack with my glaive. 12.
Not enough.
So I swing out with my glaive, and it's glowing brightly. The sort of serpents that make up its blade go swinging, and unfortunately, I misjudge it as I see 5 Hydra heads sort of in my way.
Yeah. Little bit distracting. I think that's fair enough. All right, that is time for... Unless you want to move or anything else, let me know.
I'm going to, again, after seeing how we got multi-hit, I'm going to sort of try to spread out, move away. I wasn't within, I don't think, her range, to try to make sure that we are spread out from her so we don't have any area of effect that can get us. So I retreat back whatever movement I have left, 15, 20 feet, so that I'm close enough to run in, poke, and run out with my glaive.
Nice. Okay, that is... excellent. So that takes it to Valindra's turn. She gets to do fun things now. So Zephyr's in front of her. Zephyr, let's see if you need to roll something here. You might in a second. Constitution saving throw, DC 18.
Okay, so she's casting something?
Yep, you've got advantage on it.
Yeah, he's going to take his reaction, and he's going to use Reckless Attack on the reaction.
Nice.
Nat 20, baby.
Oh, just when you needed it.
You are on fire, dude!
That was terrible damage, though.
Great.
17...
That's not doubled up, is it? Is it?
No, it's giving you the extra D6, yeah.
Yeah, it did
Yeah.
D6.
D6. You need to roll another D6
An extra
on top.
D6 should be rolled, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
There it is. Every little helps.
18. And you said a Constitution at... Okay, so you get
DC
to
18. By the way, is any of your damage magical, Zephyr?
The blade is considered silvered, but it's not magic.
Okay. So 18 halved, cool.
24 save.
24
Oh, that's
will
right,
save.
you make Slayer.
Yep, 24 will save it. And that is her turn. She's not going to move because she is entangled with all of those roots from Farron, and moving is going to hurt her even more. Although actually does... let's see if that counts. I don't think it probably will. No, it doesn't have that one. Alright, that is Farron's turn.
Okay. Okay. I don't know. Maybe we could just banish her again. Banish some more people. I don't know. Yeah, I'll shoot with my longbow again, and if it does hit, I guess we'll try. We'll try banish her. That'd be fun.
Sure.
Kick her ass out of Avalon.
22.
22's a hit.
Nice.
Sweet. Okay, she needs to make Charisma saving throw probably gonna be pretty good.
Ooh, maybe not.
Charisma saving throw. How charismatic is our Valindra? It's a 5 on charisma.
Oh, yay! Okay,
It worked.
she's managed, and her speed is 0, and she is incapacitated somewhere harmless in the Feywild.
She's gonna drop her legendary resistance on that one
No!
and pass.
Good, yeah. That's good call. Good call. That's what I would do
If I was a lich,
Yeah,
if I was.
that would be. If I was a lich, that's what I would do.
Yeah, that's what we'd drop it on.
Well, she still takes 12 damage, even though you want to ruin all of my...
Alright, 12 damage is still good. Does that count as magical damage?
Well, actually...
I was gonna say
Your
arcane
arcane
archer.
arrows
It
maybe
would.
do. How many of those arcane arrows do you have there? I think they're like... I
20. Or I have,
think they're slotted
It's
on
like-
how many uses you
I
have.
have like a magical ability that I can just make them magic if I catch them.
Okay, cool. Alright, that is... Unless you want to move, Fran?
Yeah, maybe.
Whereabouts do you want to move to?
I'll move. Honestly, I just need to move like 1 foot away from her, so maybe she'll follow me and then she'll take more damage.
If you move, you might take an attack of opportunity.
Yeah. I don't know, just kill me. I don't know.
Do you want to move or do you want to stay next to her?
I'm moving. I'm running away. I'm having a great time running far away.
Okay, so you want to move like 5 feet away?
Sure.
Okay, it's a plus math 17 to hit.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
she
it's
take
7th level that your arrows become magical. They're non-magical until then.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
Because your 7th level ability is literally to make them magical.
That's not what this was.
I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Will, Sydney, wouldn't she take the 2d6 from slashing from the thorns when she moved to attack? Was that how
She
that
has
works?
to move a foot.
I think it's she has to literally
attack of
move.
opportunity. Yeah, she
You're
has
right.
to-
Your arcane arrows are magical. This makes
Yeah.
all of your arrows magical. Sorry, I had to read the fine print.
Yeah.
But yeah, arcane shots are always magical.
Cool. That takes 20 points of damage.
All right.
on
Well,
Farron.
I got 1 HP.
Oh, on HP. Nice. She reaches
She is
out,
fierce though.
hits you with a spell, black magic, and Farron is not feeling good right now. Anything else you want to do, Farron?
Nope.
Okay, you might have your second win, not sure. Rufus, it is your turn.
Okay, Rufus looks straight at Miguel and goes, "Save her!" As she goes down, and Rufus hits his knees, goes in his sack, pulls out a piece of cloth, and binds the orb to his hand and ties it tight. And is going to use his turn to make sure that the orb cannot be knocked free of his hand.
Nice.
Nice. You want to do that on? I don't know.
My turn basically.
Yeah.
It would be to bind it.
Yeah, you can do that.
Nice and tight.
That could be a bonus action.
Oh, cool, great. So he binds it, and so she's still nearby. Yes. Okay, great. He shouts at her, "I told you, we will not fall victim to your evil ways." And he says, "Let me show you what the light is really about." And he casts his first radiant sunbolt out of his forehead.
Nice.
Oh no, and a 10.
no.
Oh, it's all right. He cast it, it misses her.
Oh, damn. Alright. Bolt of radiant sun energy just blasts out. She clearly doesn't like the look of it, but it just misses her. It's kind of new to you. You've only recently opened up your third eye, so your aim is a little
Knocks
off.
him off
Aiming
guard.
with your forehead.
You got to aim with your forehead. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet that is surprisingly difficult. Okay, well, good to know. That is Rufus' turn. Ferris is back in the house. And you don't see him do anything because he's disappeared into the house. Zephyr, it's your turn.
Reckless attack with the great sword. 20,
20's going to do it.
16 slashing,
Nice.
and Dex save for the lightning bolt that comes down.
The dex is a nat 1. Boom.
Give me 6 more then, baby.
Nice.
She'll do it. She'll do it. Alrighty. At this point, it would be fair to say that Valindra Shadowmantle looks a little bit bloodied.
Rasney, 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 Rasney. Now starts the chant from the people.
Yeah, people are asking in chat, you do get to retreat from battle. It's a disengage action. It takes an action to do so. You can move, of course, but moving does provoke attacks of opportunity. So, that is Rasney. He's going to do his thing. Vengeance will be mine. 15's not going to do it. A 20's going to do it. A 23's going to do it. A 23's going to do it. And a 14's not going to do it. But those three of those are going to hit, which is, hey, not bad, you know? I mean,
No.
not bad at all for Hydra, who's been trapped down here for a while. 31 damage by the looks of things, and that is definitely going to put a bit of pain onto Valindra right now. All right, that is Rasney's turn. It is the top of round 3, and Miguel, it is your turn.
I'm going to run over to Farron and cast Cure Wounds on her at level 2 because I'm a warlock and that's what you do.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that for
Nice.
18 points of healing.
Thank you.
Nice, boom. 13 points of healing. Yeah, you guys are rocking it. Great stuff, great stuff.
And that's my action. On my bonus action, I really don't have a whole lot that I can do. So yeah, I just I look down at her and my prismatic eyes sort of flash all the colors of the rainbow as I look into not Sydney's eyes, into Farron's.
Pass the fourth wall into Sydney's eyes.
Yes, into Farron's eyes and go, "It was a good shot. We're not done here yet. We've got more to do." And I give her a big smile, and you see the rainbows sort of flash out, and her wounds close.
Nice. Farron's looking a lot better for that. All right, that is Miguel. Anything else you want to do?
Again, unless I used all my movement to get there, I'm going to spread us again, just because these folks have nasty nasties. So I just to try to, I almost like touch and go, and sort of pull it back away from her.
Nice. So she's gonna do a couple of things. That is Valindra's turn as you back away a little bit. She is going to. Ooh, I like this spell.
Oh no.
Not what you want to hear your DM say.
Yeah, but we got our Mage Slayer. Come on, Mage Slayer.
Nice. So she is going to look at Rasney, point a finger at him,
Oh no.
and Rasney is going to roll a nat 1 on his wisdom saving throw. So, as she dominates him, Rufus, you get to roll me
Okay, good.
you get to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Come on.
Okay, everybody's ready? Everybody,
14 is not enough.
No!
Obey my commands! And you fill the orb, and Rufus, you feel yourself like battling against Valindra to gain control of a creature that is Rasney, but she's pretty good. She's pretty good.
You
And
didn't even let me sweet talk him.
I know. I'm not listening. I'm not calling back. I'm not going to pick up anymore. So
Blocking your number.
I'm blocking you. Yeah, you look up and you've been blocked by Rasney on.
Oh
No.
On
Our relationship was so
Shadow
young.
band. Shadow band.
He's changed it to it's complicated. And, yeah.
Will. Hey, Will. She cast a spell,
She sure
so
did.
I am going to attack with my reaction.
Do it.
17.
17's a hit.
Nice.
14 slashing, and she
Nice.
has disadvantage on her concentration save for her spell.
Nice. Let's see if this one should give a.
Come on, under 10.
Alright, concentration. Let me get a sheet back up here. It's 13. So she holds it. Obey my command, she says. So, till the end of his next turn, the creature only takes actions she chooses. So, it is... Ferrin, your turn.
Okay.
You're not doing quite as bad as you were before.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll shoot her.
Whatever,
With the
try.
nat 20.
Hey,
That's
that'll do it.
20!
Nice.
Yay. And that's 11 points. of damage.
11 points of damage on Valindra. Nice, nice, nice. Anything else?
I mean, I could shoot her again.
What? It's probably a good idea.
Okay. I'll do
A
that.
lot of nods from the party.
I don't know. I'll try. I'll use the grasping one, I guess.
Okay.
Another nat
Damn!
20!
Nice.
Two in a row.
What is
You guys
this?
are killing it.
Another nat 20.
Killing it.
And she needs to make a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw, and she also... You're going to double that 2d6 as well, if she fails. That's an 11.
Oh, that meets it.
Really? Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah. That's really disappointing.
Ah, well.
Oh man,
You could always legend resist, so, you know.
that's true. She could have
Yeah,
just
you
done
don't
it
feel too
anyway.
bad. She could Alrighty. So the damage is 13. Good stuff. Does she take half if she saves?
No.
Okay.
He just doesn't take the extra poison.
Cool. Alright, anything else you want to do, Farron?
No.
Alright, that takes it to Rufus. Your turn.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to get really bold. I now that I've figured out how to use my forehead gun, I'm going to try again, and once again cast Radiant Sunbolt, and then I'm going to use Key Point to do it twice more.
I've got hands up from Greg. What do you got?
Concentration from Valindra for the domination after Farron nailed her twice.
Yeah, you're right.
Ooh, right.
Ooh, yeah, can she hold it? Ooh.
Very good question. Concentration, first one is an 8.
She doesn't.
She's gonna do it. She might use it. Can you use a legend resistance on a concentration check?
It is a save.
Oh,
It's a
okay,
saving
yeah.
throw.
Save
Yeah.
throw. It burns one.
She
Hey,
will
I'm
burn one.
burning one. but-
She'll burn one, and then second one. Okay.
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 So it's okay. We're gonna hit her some more. Okay,
Yeah,
so
you
I'm
got-
going.
you got a
Yeah.
bunch of
So I'm gonna try. Oh, fail.
Ooh.
That's okay.
You
That's
got-
okay.
you got
I'm
more.
gonna use
Spend the
that
point.
The second one.
Nice.
It's third time's a charm.
Boom. All these
Um,
20s today, Jesus.
Boom is one, and what did I do? And roll some more damage. So she'll take, that lovely 15 points of Radiant Sunbolt,
Oh.
and with that net.
That drops her concentration as well.
Oh, yes! And Rufus says, come back to me, friend, come back to me!
I suppose I can. We can try again, you and I. We might have a shot.
He said, oh, I'd like that. He's still rubbing this, bound crystal ball to his hand, as if that's how it works.
Nice, nice. All right. That is your turn, Rufus. Ferris. He gets a turn. He's up to no good in that house. You don't see him right now. But Zephyr, it is your turn.
Zephyr is going to reckless attack again on Valindra.
Not going to do it.
Ugh.
He's somehow missing. He looks up at her, but he's going to strike with his lightning bolt, so she has to make a... Oh, and is her dex affected by the fact that she's brambled?
I don't think she's
I
under
was
any
checking,
condition.
it's not.
No.
I didn't think so. I just wanted to make sure.
It's just
It's
moved.
a 5 on the dex line.
Well, give me 2 then.
Hey.
Take that spark.
The extra buck damage, nice. Cool. Anything else you want to do, Zephyr?
Remain engaged.
Alright then. That takes it to Rasni's turn.
He's back on our side.
Back on the team of the good team right now. He's going to take 5 attacks against Valindra. 18's a hit. 17's a hit. 13's a miss. Did I click that? 17 is a hit for... Oh, and 2 nat ones, but...
Double that one.
Doesn't matter too much. That is still 3
hits.
as he's been consistently getting each turn. So 20 and 31 damage again from Rasne. He's nice and consistent. What a guy. Okay, cool. Oh, man. All right. Valindra's not looking good at all. Miguel, it's your turn.
I'm going to take a swing and then going to go do a thing.
All right, do a thing.
So first I'm going to try to take a swing with my glaive. Let's see if I hit. Nat 20. Look at this night.
Boom. That's not like the 5th nat 20. This, like...
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, between the saves and everything up, we're like 7 or so. So Miguel takes his glaive, and you see sort of this golden light shoot up the length of it, and the snakes actually almost seem like they writhe as they go around and form into this huge golden shining blade. And he just double hands, goes swinging right towards her midsection for... looks like 14. Let's make sure I did. Oh yeah, max damage on the second for 14 slashing damage, magical damage as it
okay,
goes.
that's the difference. Is that slashing or magical?
Yeah, that's no, because I'm packed to the blade, so my blade weapon is a magical weapon.
Now that makes all of the difference, because how do you kill Valindra Shadow Mantle?
So, yeah. Miguel is looking at her, and he just is winding up for this, his weapon glowing, as he said, and his eyes spark, especially rainbow colored. It almost looks like his entire raiment almost has this neon glow, like the sun lighting up this dark, horrible place that we've been in. And you can even sort of see the memory of his Aasimar wings extended out behind him. I'm not really using that action. This is just for show. And he just winds up and goes swinging down through her and goes, "Your evil will not survive this place. Great shoes, though." And swings and knocks through as we stole her shoes all the way back from his first encounter.
You watch as she's desperately trying to cast a teleport spell to get out of here. Smack her one with a gigantic hit. As the whole team has been smacking her with absolutely gigantic hits. You watch as she dissipates into ash and dust and is on the floor.
So, because I wasn't sure, I didn't know I was going to kill her, but I'm still going to do. Miguel still has a plan. As soon as he finishes the swing, he casts Mask of Many Faces on himself and turns into Nepeta and goes into the house.
Oh, I follow behind him real slow, like.
All
just want to
right.
make sure you're okay.
Zephyr looks through the ash real quick, just to make sure no bits of shiny dropped, and then he'll follow too.
Yeah, you don't see, you don't see a bottle marked, precious goods or anything like that. Do not touch this.
Rare item.
All right, so is everyone headed straight into the house after Miguel? Is that what's happening?
That's right. That's what Rufus is doing for sure. I just don't want him to walk into the house with him by himself.
Zephyr would drop a little bit back, so he's staying staggered. So it's Miguel, Rufus, himself, and Farron, or Farron and himself, to keep kind of all of us staggered a bit, like we were trying to keep spread out before, so we don't get area affected or lined or anything like that. So yeah, he'll maintain a stagger.
So
17.
Miguel, as Nepeta, sort of slowly looks into the darkness to see if he can see Ferris.
In the... are you doing this stealthily, by the way?
Actually, because I'm disguised as Nepeta, I'm doing it cautiously, but I don't think I'm doing it stealthily, because Miguel thinks that he's disguised as Nepeta and that's going to work, but we're about to find out.
I was about to say, Rufus is sneaking behind him. Would like to just hide and listen behind the door, just around the door.
Okay. You peek your head round the corner and you're looking back at yourself. you see that Nepeta is also in this room as well. Behind her is her brother, Ferris, and he holds a wand to her head at the moment, in the classic sort of like hostage scenario situation. And don't come any closer.
Well, that didn't work the way I was expecting.
Be gone from her form.
And I do. I drop it immediately.
By the way, outside, Farron, you haven't come in yet. Rasni is still here. Rufus, you still have the orb. And Rasni is going to kind of like poke one of his Hydra heads into this house. If you wouldn't mind, friend.
Oh, right. We had the deal. Okie dokie. And I'm going to unwrap it and leave the cloth like almost like a sling and like start smashing this orb on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying hard enough and you're looking to just like crack this orb,
that's really all I want to do is just like crack it.
Yeah, you will be able to do so. You know, it might require a little bit of extra magic from your forehead in order to blast it apart. But if Rufus is really trying to crunch this thing, he definitely can.
Yeah. So I'll crack it. I want to make sure like it'll never be a whole orb again.
Yeah.
And then just for shits and giggles, I'll toss a radiant sunbolt at it, just like.
Nice. Yeah, it bursts open and you see Rasni smile. Thank you, friend. I will remember this. And you watch as he descends back into the murky waters and swims away.
Don't do anything we wouldn't do.
Rufus.
I'll always remember you, Rufus.
XOXO. Hugs and kisses, Rufus.
XOXO, gossip Rufus. Gossip Goliath. Okay, so, he swims away. Back in the house, Ferris is there. He's got a wand to little Nepeta. Don't come any closer.
I mean, she's already dead, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
There are things...
What are you gonna do? You already killed her one time,
There are far worse places than this.
And you would do that to her? You would do that to her again?
It's not my choice.
What do you mean it's not your choice? We all have a choice.
How many times do I have to tell you? Are you an idiot? I don't have a choice.
Neither do we.
You are still... You are in the control, the thrall of Asarak.
I am him.
Right.
Or at least a part of him.
That is right. A part.
Do we know how to release him? I like whisper to the group. Is that something we can do? Like, just like, if there's one and the same thing, do we separate something?
You're going to have to kill me, you fool.
Well, you know what's little Mr. Shits? I don't have to do nothing I don't want to do. Alright? Just like you don't have to do nothing you don't want to do. I think deep down you want to kill your sister. That's why you did it the first time. And that's why you're going to try to do it again. So you're right. If I want to kill yous, I will. I'm trying to help you.
You don't have a choice. Your friend just said so. You have to. None of us have a choice here. We know what's going to happen.
Then let's get to it. And Zephyr strides towards him.
Oh.
Let's roll initiative.
Oh my god, I'm right back into it. Okie dokie.
Look at this.
Boom.
Nat 20.
Jesus, we got to keep a count of these guys in chat. Like, that's, what, 6 Nat 20s? Actually, I want to go count.
I think we're at 7 if you count the last one that Greg rolled.
5,
6, 7, 8.
8. I thought, yeah.
8 this game so far. That's pretty mental. All right, if we can get to 10, that's going to be impressive. All right, let me get these turn orders back in. So we've got Rufus on the Nat 20, 24. Miguel on the 13. Farron on the 11. Let's roll for Ferris as well. Zephyr on a 19 now. He's got on a 19, but he's got a lower initiative. Yep.
It is actually already 10.
Is it
because
really?
a couple of those were on Zephyr's having advantage.
Oh, you're right.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's the small number. There was a small number on a couple of those.
All right,
I beat him next two on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His dex is nice and low. Alright, so we've got Rufus going first into our showdown, followed by Zephyr, and then Ferris. And then we've got Miguel, and then Farron. Top of round 1, Rufus. You get the first jump here.
Great. I'm gonna get really sassy here and step in and decide that this child needs to be smacked around a bit. So I'm gonna use both my unarmed attacks here.
To clarify, he's been alive for like 2,000 years. So.
Well, in Rufus's mind, he's still just a child that needs like an attitude adjustment. So so I'll do the first one here. So I'll use a key point to do 2 additional attacks after I get my original 2.
Yeah, someone's definitely hacked roll 20.
20.
All about it.
Not a hit.
20
I'm
is
guessing.
A hit. 20 is a hit against Ferris.
20. The 11's
11
not
is
though,
not.
right?
11 is a miss.
And one more for nope.
Nope.
So the first one hits him for 7 bludgeoning damage with fist to face.
Oh, very nice, very nice. All right, 7 bludgeoning damage. Okie dokie, that is good. Anything else you want to do, Rufus?
I'm gonna keep some distance. I want to make sure that I'm not right up on top of him. Like I'll smack him and then I'd like to disengage.
Okie doke. Then let us go over to Zephyr.
Zephyr rolls right up to him, and as his eyes begin to crackle with energy, he just pulls the greatsword up and brings it down. Reckless attack.
Nice.
22.
That'll do it.
9 slashing, and then a dex with him.
Dexterity. 18.
Well, yeah, half down probably to nothing. So,
Okay.
but now he remains engaged with him.
Very nice, very nice. Okie dokie, that is Zephyr's turn. It is Ferris's turn. You watch as a dark black magical shield weaves its way around his skin and his person. It does not look friendly at all. It doesn't look friendly. I'll leave it at that. That is... He's actually going to stay in combat. Well, he was thinking about Misty Stepping, but actually doesn't want to. That is his turn for now. Miguel, it's yours.
He did cast a spell, though.
He cast a spell, yep.
I want to try to bust this, so I'm going to go ahead and take the attack.
Nice.
Nat 20.
Oh my god, 11? Really?
Crap.
Wow.
Okay, so
And you got
that's...
extra 6 on that, right?
Yep.
Okay, you take 9 points of fire damage, Zephyr, as you attack him.
Okay, and let's see, the total on that one was 15.
15 sounds right.
No, not 15. 13 for me, and then half down to 4 or 5, Will. What do you want? Or no, it's fire. Never mind.
Yep.
It's fine.
Fire damage, yep. Cool, that is that reaction, so Miguel.
So now Miguel is actually going to pop out the wings using his radiant soul. So suddenly these huge rainbow, look like iridescent parrot wings spring out of his back. And I want to try to grab Nepeta and get her to safety.
From the athletics.
Is it athletics or can I acrobatics it?
That's going to be an athletics to pull her up.
Okay, let's give it a try. Come on. Oof, it's a 10.
There you go, an 8, so you're going to pull her away.
So yeah, he just sort of grabs her and takes her. Is there any place you said this is burned out? So is the roof gone?
The roof itself is basically gone, or if you wanted to bust through it, it's not going to take a lot to.
So yeah,
to get through.
I literally fly straight up and just get her out of there. And I sort of give her a smile, and these wings are sort of glowing and radiant. And I say to her, "I told you, you will see the sun again." And take her outside and drop her off.
Very nice. All right, that is your turn, Miguel. Farron, it's yours. Probably about 30 feet away from this guy.
Yeah.
You got a clear line of attack against him.
Sweet. Okay, I'll. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe we can banish him. That'd be fun. We'll try that
Sure.
because he doesn't have the thing.
Sure.
A 26.
26 is a hit.
He needs to make a charisma saving throw.
Charisma saving throw for him is a 19.
Eesh.
Oh, okay.
You can roll a damage on longbow. Though. There you go.
Yeah.
That
Nice.
charismatic little shit.
I know, right? Dear me. Okay, good stuff. Anything else you want to do, Farron?
Nah.
Okay. That's all good. That takes us to round 2. Rufus, your turn.
Okay. He still looks like he has this like magic around him. The shield.
She's got a shield effect around him right now.
All right. Well, then I guess I'm just gonna have to attack him from afar, because yeah.
Does he have to roll concentration for that?
It's
or is
duration.
that just an effect?
Yeah, it's duration.
Okay. Yeah. So he'll do another radiant sunbolt out of his forehead at a 19.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Whoop, for 8 radiant damage to the face.
Cool. You're within 5 feet of him?
Yeah. I am.
Cool.
No, I stepped. Yes, I am within 5
you
feet.
are,
I
yeah.
disengaged, but I didn't move. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so the 19 is a hit. Because it's not a melee attack. Good stuff. Nice. Alright, so he takes the 8. Anything else you got for him?
No, but I would like to take a step back. And out of his grasp. So I guess I'll take an attack of opportunity to give myself some distance.
Okie dokie, yep. No worries. 1d20 plus, I think it's 9. Let's see. There's so many little tabs up right now. It is... Spellcasting was 9, yeah. An 11. Man, 2 on a die.
Not a hit.
Nice. Alright, so a bolt of fire goes out, but misses you nicely. That is Rufus's turn. Zephyr, it's yours.
Again, the greatsword comes down in a reckless attack. 16.
16 is a hit.
11 slashing, and then a dex for him.
Alright, and you take the 11 fire damage. 7 on the dex save.
Okay, 2 more lightning as it
Nice.
we trade elements.
Yep,
I take 11, you say?
11 fire. Yeah.
Okay,
Alrighty.
I stay engaged.
Remain engaged. Good stuff. That is Zephyr's turn. It is Ferris's turn. Oh, I like this. This is fitting.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I've got to find it elsewhere because that's a thing. He's going to point a finger at Farron, who's been trying to banish him. He's not a fan of this whole being banished thing. As soon as you do it a few times, he's not... You can make me a charisma saving throw, Ferris. Farron, sorry. He's Ferris.
Okay.
He's fighting fire with fire.
A 9.
Ooh.
That is unfortunately not enough. You are banished
Zoof.
to a harmless demiplane. While you're there, you remain until the spell ends. And it's concentration up to 1 minute. At which point you will reappear in a space at left.
Okay.
Will, I'm going to use my reaction as soon as he starts casting.
Sure.
So, how about a nat 20 on that?
And that's when he's going to do it.
What is up with this? That's 12.
12.
What does it?
Oh my god.
How about some 19 damage on that?
Look at that. Max double sixes.
Damn, son. And you take the 8 fire damage as you hit him.
Okay, that's 23 total damage to him, and he's got to roll a concentration check, or she ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Let's see. Concentration is a 7. Ain't going to do it.
Baby.
Farron like pops away for half a second, and then pops right back in. And he looks pissed. He,
Super
Oh, dude.
disagree.
yeah.
Nice.
This is like
Nice.
DM Nightmare.
Yeah,
when
you
your
guys are like, no.
players are-
I'm loving it though. To be fair, like all these 20s coming in, it's like wow, yeah,
Epic storytelling for
it's
sure.
like- yeah, I'm impressed. Like I'm happy that we're doing it now. You know, not like in a home game. Like everyone can see that it's not me. It's
Right.
it's the Nat 20s are against the liches today. That is good stuff. All right, what can you do? What you gonna do when I come for you? That is Miguel's turn.
Okay, so Miguel, after dropping her off, will fly back up and shoot an Eldritch Blast down through the ceiling at our buddy Ferris, or at least attempt to.
Give it a go.
Let's see if it hits before I describe it. Ooh, a 14.
Not gonna do it.
Oh, so yeah, unfortunately, some of the roof is in the way, and he just misses it by just a little bit.
Very nice.
But yeah, so I'm hovering. I'm gonna stay hovering overhead at this point. I'm keeping an eye on my buddy Zephyr there in case I need to dive down and help him out as I see him keep getting just bathed in fire again and again.
Yeah, it's pretty much every time he hits Ferris, it's just like begins to burn up even more. So he's probably on fire right now. Okay, that is Miguel's turn. Ferrin, it's yours. You were almost banished, and then you were unbanished.
Part of me wants to just try to banish him again.
Right.
Banish battle. Womp womp.
But I'll be so upset if it doesn't work.
Oh.
I don't know. We'll try it. I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Girl.
I don't know. 19.
19's a hit.
Charisma saving throw. I don't know.
Charisma saving throw.
Can't be
So
that
14.
No, it doesn't work. But he takes 8
Nice.
damage
Nice,
from
nice.
my arrow.
Oh boy.
I don't know. I think maybe we should just I'll call across and be like, maybe we should try something else. I don't think this is working for either.
I agree. Let's.
Okay.
I'll try something more fun. All right. That
Okay,
is...
no, she wasn't talking to you.
All right. Rufus, top of round 3.
All right. He's still glowing in this like black flame. Is that what it is? It looks like actual fire, not just like magical.
It's black magical flame.
Oh.
Comes with fire damage, but it's black because it's cool.
Right. All right. So he's going to once again Radiant Sunbolt and use another key point to get all 3 attacks. So it's 16, 24, and 8.
16 and 24 are going to do it.
Cool. So he'll take 7 and then another 6. So 13 points of radiant damage again.
Respectable. Respectable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Doesn't like it.
Yep. That's the goal.
Okay. Got anything else, Rufus?
I don't think so. Okay, I do actually have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question. Wait, no, I don't. Rufus maintains distance. That's what Rufus does.
Okay. Zephyr, your turn. Zephyr, you looking pretty hurt right now?
Yeah, Zephyr's standing there, and he's got the fire, kind of has taken his pirate shirt and burned it off. He's basically, as the fire licks up around the blue tattoos on his flesh, and he looks at the young man and swings. Reckless attack.
Little dip.
23.
23, yep.
9, and then the lightning bolt goes off again.
Make a dex save, yeah?
Yep.
5 on the dex.
14 total then damage.
Nice.
How's he looking?
He's looking hurt. He's definitely looking hurt. More so than like blood. He doesn't bleed at all. You see that like cracks on his skin are beginning to form, like he's made from like porcelain or some kind of ceramic. He looks more like a pot than anything else. Think more the Mummy sort of visuals right now.
Gotcha.
Also, as you hit him, 9 points of fire, Zephyr.
Oh, you up?
I'm up. I'm up.
All right. Just about. So that is Zephyr's turn. Takes it to Ferris's. He's going to take the advice of Ferrin, his banishing counterpart, and he's going to ask everybody within a 60-foot cone to make a Constitution saving throw. I think the only one is away from this is Miguel, thanks to the 3D nature of being flying.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to attack. Can I attack first here, Will?
I'm not clear on how that works. Does the attack roll first, or does the spell roll first?
Well, no, I mean, yeah, he'll get it off.
Okay,
I'm just saying,
yeah.
You want me?
Roll the attack roll now, may as well.
Yep.
18,
That'll do it.
15 slashing to him.
Okay, okay. We're on a fire attack now. 11 points of fire for Zephyr as he hits with the melee attack and gets him.
Zephyr's down.
And okay, so and then Rufus succeeds on the con saving throw, I believe.
17.
DC 17, so you succeed. Farron's gonna fail, unfortunately.
I'm gonna die.
And okay, so a couple of things happen almost immediately. It's 31 points of cold damage as this cone of blasty ice just goes out. You watch as Ferris just kind of like holds his hands out. At the same time, Zephyr cleaves in with the greatsword, dealing that 15 slashing damage, killing and destroying the simulacrum that is Ferris, but he still gets the spell off. And the 31 points of cold goes onto you. As Zephyr goes down, the lich, well not the lich, the phylactery explodes and Ferris is gone. Who's still standing? Okay. Miguel's still up. Farron, you still up?
I'm still up.
Farron, did you go down?
Oh yeah.
Oh no. I look at him and go, Toasty girl, help him! I look up at Miguel.
Oh yeah, no. So Miguel, seeing this, seeing both. I mean, the nice part is, the nice part, my friend, is the fire is out. But yeah, I literally just sort of dive bomb straight down and use my healing hands, Aasimar attribute on Zephyr, which is 4 hit points, but it'll bring him up.
Nice.
Gets him out of death save, because I'm assuming he would have failed a death save with that cone of cold.
That is correct,
right?
yeah, that's one death save fail.
So yeah, so I use my healing hands and it's a one-use thing. So it's 4 hit points. I can't split it up. So that gets him back up. That takes my full action between movement and getting down there, and it's an action to use healing hands.
Okay, so that takes it to Farron. So we're staying in initiative because there's some healing and things to do.
Okay.
So Farron, it is time for you to roll a death saving throw. That'll do it. That's one save. Top of round, Rufus.
Can I go over and do anything to help stabilize her in any way?
You can roll a medicine check to try and stabilize. DC's 10.
Try. I don't do very good.
Not quite enough. You're like trying to bring Farron around, but
I'm like, wake up, Farron, wake up, please.
the Hollywood technique of reviving people isn't working.
Right, exactly.
At the moment, unfortunately. Zephyr is up. Do you want to take the actions?
Yeah, Zephyr's going to go over and try to do a medicine check as well, as he's trying to... No.
Oh, man.
Boy. It's okay, though, because it's now Miguel's turn.
Okay, so here's the thing. Literally, I'm trying to look up. Okay, so I'm crossing my fingers that he sells trinkets isn't a bullshit artist, because all I've got is the stale healing potion.
Oh no.
That's it. I don't have nothing else. So I'm gonna feed her. And I look up and I'm like the backseat friend, I will hunt you down and skin you like the cat you are if this is a bullshit potion. And I pour the stale healing potion in.
Oh my god, while you do it, Rufus says a prayer to Lathandra. He's like, I believe, just give it light, bring it back, oh my lord.
Roll me a medicine check with advantage, Miguel.
Okay. 19.
Nice, and then roll me 2d4 plus 2, because that's how much Farron's going to get healed by the stale healing potion.
Nice. 2d4 plus 2. 2d4 plus 2. Look at that. 8 healing.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
And
I'm feeling lightheaded.
Yeah. Rufus grabs Miguel's face and just plants the biggest, wettest man kiss on him, just like, beautiful man. And he goes straight to, he's like, are you okay? Changes his demeanor and it's like, how are you feeling? How are you, Farron? Are you feeling okay?
Now, I imagine she is probably like super cold, like blue lips, blue fingertips, and like.
Oh, I like pick her up. I'm like hugging her, like trying to warm her with my body heat. It's okay.
Right, I was going to say, as Rufus kisses Miguel, On the ground, Zephyr's laying shoulder to shoulder with Farron, and he just looks over and goes, "Nice job."
We all did very good. We did it. We killed a phylactery.
Thank you.
So good. We're in a house.
You're in a burnt down house
burnt
right
out
now.
house. Oh, Nepertak is outside.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help Zephyr up to his feet. Pirate,
Peacock.
you are perhaps the only person I've ever met who is crazier than me.
Thanks. I don't feel crazy.
You're a little crispy right now around the edges, but
The wind will get it in a moment.
So as you guys pull yourselves back up again, the ashes of the simulacrum that was Ferris, one of the phylacteries of Asarak, destroyed, that is where we're going to cut to our 2 insight for the day on making history. So we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes time with the actual play, and we're going to go cut to a little bit of DM tips. Thank you guys. We'll see you guys in a bit, players. You can take this opportunity to take a short rest, so use any hit dice that you want to during this little break, and we'll be right back with you.
Okay, cool.
Alright everybody, we are going to our section on the day of Learn by Play, which is making history. Let me find my PowerPoint presentation, which I've made in advance for today. So today's topic is writing the history of your world. The series is about writing your own homebrew campaigns, your own homebrew worlds, and so an important part of writing a homebrew world is writing the history of that world and how that world came to be. Let's get into it. So, yes, I find it best to work backwards. When it comes to thinking of where the world has been, I like to think about what the world looks like at the moment, what I want the world to look like when we're playing in the game. And often, what that means is a process of working backwards. As a lot of my DMing stuff works when I'm writing stories, I like to have an idea of where the ending is and work backwards from there. When it comes to writing a world, I like to have an idea of what the world looks like and figure out how we got to that place. So, ask yourselves we've got a couple of prompts here. How did the world come to be this way? Were there any major events that shaped it? Look back at our own world. You know, what events have informed the current climate that we're in right now, the world that we're in, and that can be something as simple as something as big as, like, you know, there was once a landmass named Pangaea and then everything split apart. It could be that we had a Stone Age, or that there was an age of dinosaurs and then slowly we've gone through that. Or it could be something like the events of World War II or World War I, which are huge, life-changing, world-changing events in the past couple hundred years. So consider any past events that may have occurred that will inform your world, and any past ages as well. Yeah, exactly, like in there in chat. How did the world evolve? Was it formed, by gods? Was it just, landmass, which is like slowly developed over time? Or is it something that was maybe, magically created by a creator of some kind, a god perhaps, or a series of gods? Lots of interesting things to consider. Like, you can go really far back. You can go as far back as like the past 100 years if you want to, or you could go back to like millennia and before this world was even formed, and how that world even came into existence, and then work your way forwards from there until eventually you get to where you are. And again, you don't have to. You don't have to go into minute detail on every single event. I'm not saying that you need to write a history book on the history of your world, but like a couple of bullet points are quite useful. And a side of A4 on like the major events are useful. Then you can go into more detail as you go as well. But having a broad shape idea of what it looks like is useful, super useful, I think. All right. Once you've got a little bit of that history, one of the questions that I ask myself is, why on earth do we need that history? Why have we done that? What does that work go towards in our actual game? So how do we involve events of the past, and how do we involve the history that we've written into our game's actual sessions? So major events could shape public opinion. That's one thing. In our world, there was a war, and magic users have been, not so popular right now. The popular opinion of the masses is that magic users are behind necromancy. So the events of that war have shaped the nature of what people think. It's also shaped the economy of Neverwinter and the Sword Coast. We talked a couple of episodes ago about the economy. So writing that history in turn informs what the economy of the world looks like, what the politics of the world may look like, and indeed what the religion of the world may look like. So if there has always been, an infrastructure of gods and goddesses, a pantheon in a world that's been there for the past 1,000 years, then likelihood is that there's some version of that, going on in the world where we are today. How are different people treated due to past events? If there was some kind of huge war with the orcs in your world, how are half-orcs treated? How are orcs treated in the world? Are they seen as like savages? Or maybe, something as simple as that group of guys over there, we don't like them because we went to war with them thousands of years ago, or they're magic users and we don't like them. Or we do like them, Swings and roundabouts. The third and final thing I want to touch on briefly, I will be making these PowerPoints available at the end of the season, so don't worry about that. They'll go on the website, encounterroleplay.com. They maybe go on the Wizards of the Coast website, I'm not sure. I'll talk to the production team about that. But how do we give the information to the players? It's one thing to have written it, and one of the most important things for me in DMing and telling a story is that it is coherent, and that is understandable by the players. Now, I've played in plenty of D&D games where I have, as a player, felt like I don't understand everything that's going on, and that's really important as a Dungeon Master, that while you have all this really cool knowledge and you've got all these really cool points that you thought of, that you can actually dispense that information to the players in such a way that is both natural and organic, but also that they can understand what story you're trying to tell and understand the world that you're in. There's a lot of times where I've been in a couple of games and I felt like I don't really understand what the world actually is, what it's supposed to look like. And partly that may be my own failure and not reading all the materials that are on it or something, but most of the time if the materials are there, that's great, but also it's a Dungeon Master's task to inform the players of the world, not only just in a text document of this is what my world looks like, but also as you play. So let's go into that. How do we give this information to players? So what I don't like to do generally is give a huge info dump at the beginning of a campaign. I often find for myself as a player having experienced this, that this is just too much information. Especially if it's a long thing, right? If you've got a lot of information to share about your world, I can often find that sitting down first session and you just get all this information thrown at you, that can be a little bit too much to take in and remember. Something you can do that I really like is having a primer, creating a primer in a Google Doc or wherever you have files that you can share with players, or just printing it off if you're playing in real life, and giving this to the players before the actual game session. So at session 0, that's a good place to give a little primer out and say, these are the key points that you will need. And again, I don't expect for DMs to have, thousands of pages of words, because that's just too much. No one wants to read a novel about your world, basically, if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, if you're a writer and you're writing a novel, then sure thing. But when you're playing, what you want to do as a player, you want to have an idea of what game and what world you're in, but you don't want to be overwhelmed. When you get overwhelmed, as people are mentioning in chat, it can actually dissuade the players from a bit of exploration. It can dissuade the players from a bit of feeling like they have a part in the world and that they own the world as well. And I think that's something that's really important. Something that I like to do in my own games is to give players a little bit of free reign. Whilst we are playing in the Sword Coast, we're playing in a homebrewed version of it, and I always encourage players to come up with creating their own backstories, with creating their own locations and NPCs within those backstories, so that they feel like they're a part of the world creation process as well. Now, if you say to a player as they're making a character, I noticed that you've got a name of a village here or a name of a town or whatever, or you haven't filled that in. Feel free to create a town as you're creating your backstory. Feel free to create NPCs that are going into this. And you as a dungeon master always have like veto control of that, right? So if they're like, I'm friends of the lord of this land and I have 10 million gold pieces because I know him. Well, yeah, maybe not, but creating a village or a town, I mean, you can just like pop that into your map and then the players feel like they're a part of the world as well. We've actually talked about that before, I believe, in a previous episode of Learn by Play, but something really worth thinking about when you're talking about history and giving this information to the players. Consider revealing different parts of history throughout the game as you progress. So something that I'll do is I'll give a pretty broad overview of what the world looks like, general concepts that are going on in the world, general land masses, groups of people, religions, what magic looks like, and those basic principles that we talked about, I think, in the very first session of this series. And then as I go each session, I like to consider touching on one of those, whether that's, okay, this session I'm going to inform a little bit more about religion, because we're going to be going to the temple district, and they're going to be able to see what that's like. In this game, we had a scene where they'll go through the temple district, and they notice what's going on with all the paladins and the wardens, and that they've all become united into one sort of tribe of one banner. And the same goes for any part of history or in your world. If you go to a tavern, that's a great opportunity for a bard to be telling a story there. One of the really nice things I actually find myself liking and missing about the game Skyrim is that when you go into a tavern, there'd always be a bard singing a tale, and the tale would be a part of history and a very real part of the lore. And that's something that I love about taverns and Dungeons and Dragons, is that they would be a place for groups of people to commune and to tell one another stories, and that really is what bards' jobs were back. I say back in the day as if that were real, but historically, if we take bards from a more historical standpoint, storytellers basically. So, and then last but not least, history checks can help. If a player doesn't know something, or a character doesn't know something, then they can roll a history check to gain more insight or information on this matter. And that doesn't have to be proactive from the player's standpoint. Often as a dungeon master, I will proactively ask a player to roll me a history check. Let's see if you do know this thing. Have you heard this story as you walk into the tavern? And you're actually, you walk into the tavern, you hear the bard singing, roll me a history check to see if you've heard of this tale before, and maybe if they have, give them more information on the story that's being told. Little bits of information like that, which aren't just dumped on you from above, of read my novel of my world book of all of the history and the lore. I mean, that's great and all, and more power to you if you go out and write that. But it's not digestible from a player perspective, and it can get too much. Of course, there are some players who aren't like that, and who will devour every piece of information that you can give them about the world, and they would love to read a 200-page novel about your world campaign. But for the most of us, I think we want to have a good idea about what is in the world, but not too much information, and to give a chance to fill in some of the blanks ourselves, and to write history with the players' actions. And that's another beautiful thing you can do with the game Dungeons and Dragons, is, back in those old Elder Scrolls game, aren't you the hero of Kvatch? Aren't you the leader of the whatever guild? That could be totally a thing that you can add in. History can be written as the players take their own actions within the game. So, why not? As they do heroic tasks, people might recognize them. People might hear stories when they walk into the tavern next time. Maybe the story they hear being told is about them, and how cool would that be from a player perspective to have that? So, consider not only how you can write the history of your world and how that informs what the world looks like, and vice versa, but also how to give that information to the players in a digestible and easily understandable way, because that is one of your most difficult tasks as a dungeon master, is to not only write cool stuff, but to make the players understand the cool stuff that you've written and be equally infused and excited about it as you are. Often when you're involved in a project, it's very difficult to take a step back and see, actually, I haven't told the players all of this stuff. They're never going to understand that unless I actually give them a way to learn that information. And plenty of different ways to give information in D&D. NPCs, super useful. History checks, reveal information as you go, maybe a little primer as you begin the game. Hey, and if you're midway through a game right now and you realize that you haven't done that, it's never too late to give that primer out, and that's a great thing. And you can give them extra primers as they go. Each week you could create a couple of pages of history or of lore or of information about different aspects of the world and different key locations, and give them to them each session. That could be super useful, and I think that would be fun for the players. So that is a couple of things on making history in your D&D campaigns. If you guys have any questions, feel free to tweet at me at EncounterRP. I'm always about on Twitter to answer questions, and hopefully you guys have found this useful. I will be releasing the PowerPoint presentations on my website, encounterroleplay.com. And I'll talk to Wizards as well and see if we can get that somewhere more easily accessible for the D&D channel, maybe like a command or something like that. But we are going to head back. We're going to head back to our players now, and we're going to see what they're up to over here. Alright everybody, we're back, and the players are back with us, having survived a pretty brutal encounter right there, by the skin of their teeth. Looks like you guys have spent some hit dice, so is everyone feeling a little bit better now? Good.
Yep.
Good.
Yes.
Good stuff. So, to take you back into the scene, we are in a burnt down house, somewhere in the dark Arcanum. Nepeta is back in the room with the rest of you guys, and the ashes of her brother are lying dead on the ground. You guys have taken a short rest over the past 10 or 15 minutes.
I look to Nepeta. I'm sorry for your loss, Nepeta. I know while he is much changed, he was still your brother, but...
He was and he wasn't, in many ways. Not the brother I knew. Whilst he is dead, I am still tied to this place.
How do we untie you?
I have a phylactery. It must be destroyed.
Do you know where it is?
I can take you there.
By any chance, do you know where Valindra's phylactery was, and any more of your brother's?
She hid a lot from me. I could not see that far into her. One of her most well-kept secrets, if I know my brother at all.
Of course.
If you will destroy my phylactery, I will give you the location of my brother's next. He spoke of it before.
That seems like a right fine deal.
I would like to see you finally get some rest.
I would like that as well. Are you all fit enough to travel? We must go on the boats once again.
I look around.
Yes, the break was nice. I'm feeling better. Let's do with it. Farron, how you feeling? You took both you and Zephyr big falls.
I'm feeling a little better. I'm just I might have a little bit of a cold. But
It's chilly.
I'm okay.
You know what? So when we get where we're going, I'm gonna make you the heartiest pot of stew. It'll fix anything with this nice steaming cup of tea. You're gonna feel like a brand new Farron.
Big man, that's what I was hoping that you would say that tea. That tea, it
Oh, we
sounds
can
really
have some
good.
tea. We can have some tea as soon as
Alright.
we get where we're going, and we say the little go. It probably
Right.
tastes.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, then let's get this show on the road.
Perhaps the best reward we could possibly have.
We sit down at the end of the day with a good cup of tea.
So, yes, your treasure in sight, your treasure in your mind, if not in sight at least. The group of you return to the boats, and the water into which Rasni has disappeared only moments ago. Well, I guess a couple of minutes ago now at this point. There's no sign of him around, and Nepeta climbs into one of your boats and encourages all of the group of you to, jump into your own respective boats and follow her lead.
Can he get into Nepeta's? Can Zephyr get into Nepeta's boat?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the boats once again seem to propel themselves forwards magically back into the large chamber from which Rasni was residing, with hundreds of different, pockmarked tunnels all within this room, like a beehive. But Rasni is nowhere to be seen. She leads you down another one of these tunnels and says, "Thank you for freeing my brother," to Zephyr.
Yeah. We'll get you freed next. Little one, you told me that Somehow my mother's boat was down here. Was that the truth, or something that your brother had fed you?
That is the truth. I'm not sure how it got here, but I think it might have something to do with your father.
Is he here?
No. But he has been here.
I guess that is both good and bad, then. Let's send you on your way, little girl.
Agreed.
Is there anything you can tell us about this phylactery you have? Before we, get there and it's maybe like a giant monster, knowing our luck, or some, trap that's gonna fall on our heads?
It's not, no.
Oh, okay.
It is my ashes. An urn of them. He reformed me. They were my mortal form. What's left of them, at least.
Oh. Because Lindy told us that whole story of the house,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
He brought you back.
Yes.
And the ashes remained.
That's right. I keep them safe. Well, he made me keep them safe. But there are no dangers.
And let us proceed post-haste to let you see the sun again.
You move down the tunnel through the boats until you come to a dark little cave which the boats can shore up on. In this little cave, Nepeta leads Zephyr by the hand and a group of you behind until you're inside. It looks like a small home, if not really a house. There are bed linens around, and there are little dolls around as well that a girl might have. Looks like she's got a little bed made out here as well. There are a lot of dead flowers around that are sort of disintegrating into ash, but this looks like where Nepeta most likely keeps her home. And next to her bed, she has a little urn, which she brings out and just puts down for you. This is it. I have to say, after all these years of life, I still fear true death. And the darkness that might be out there. At least here, I still had company from time to time.
Zephyr would... Yep. No, I was just going to say, Zephyr's going to kneel down and take the urn and hand it back to her and say, "Why don't you make your own decision, little one? Come back with us. See the light. There are many others who will speak to you. And then whenever you feel you're ready to go on your way, you make your own choice for the first time in a long time."
She looks to Miguel.
Miguel, sort of when he walked in and saw the state of the place, the bed, the child's room, sort of walks around the room from flower to flower and doll to doll in the bed using prestidigitation, and brings the flowers so they look like they're back alive, and that the bed is beautifully made with fresh linens, and that the dolls, where they might have been smudged or cracked after millennia of time down here, makes it so that they all look fresh. And then with above, you can make sort of a light, using light spell or something to make it sort of look like it is a cheerful space. But then he hears Zephyr and goes, "Yes, perhaps you should have your own choice, as you did not have in your life."
Have you ever sailed on a ship, little one, with the ocean breeze blowing in your hair, the sun and the mist as it drapes among you, in the day and the night, and the rocking? Not these boats. These are fine boats, but a ship born on an ocean, gently making waves. It's something to see where we go.
I was always close to the ocean. Could always smell the breeze, but I was always too little to get on a ship. I would like that. At least for a time, to travel with you, if you will all allow it.
Of course.
And then I suppose we need to find your ship, Zephyr. Very well.
Sure.
The location of the phylactery. The next one. It is in Neverwinter. In Lord Neverember's tower.
Sorry, Meta.
Yeah, Rufus goes, is that bad? Should I know who that is? You both look very shocked. The terror on your faces.
Zephyr wouldn't have batted an eye. That was great.
Miguel wouldn't know either.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know. I was like,
yeah, the two of us both are going, whoa. Yeah, no. Where?
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like fun.
All that you guys currently know about Lord Neverember is that he was once the ruler of Neverwinter and has since disappeared, and no one has seen anything from Neverember in quite some time.
And that's like common knowledge?
Pretty common knowledge, yeah. He was sort of superseded by the Wardens, who now have sort of military control over Neverwinter. So Nepeta says, come with me then. Gets back on the boats and starts leading you guys off. Yeah, presumably you follow her. Unless there's anything you'd want to do else in here, yeah. She leads you to down the dark tunnels once again, your boats leading together, until you come out into what seems to be more like a cove. And there is sunlight beaming through this kind of like tunnel entrance up ahead. It's a narrow tunnel entrance, but the sunlight is clearly piercing through all the darkness down in the Dark Arcanum. And majestically stood, harboured safely, is the Tempest Beloved. There it is. Just needs a crew.
Pirates, there's your girl.
Mother said she could never sink.
She is a wondrous thing.
Oh. And look, we've got some extra hands to help us. And Rufus points at her.
I can help.
See? She's game.
We taught 93 children how to sail. What is one more?
Well, yeah. Make it 94.
So, Nepeta brings the boats over and skips off quite happily and runs up the gangplank.
I stop everybody before we get on board as she runs up. I hate to be the shadow in the sunlight, if you know what I'm saying, but isn't it maybe a little risky to have her with us?
The risk is having her not with us. The best part is she could be exactly what she says. The worst part is she could be another phylactery for Asarak. Either way, it's with us.
True, but you see, if we just helped her pass on into where she belongs, where she's supposed to be, and she is a phylactery, well then she's gone. And if she's not, well then the risk of her being here or not being here is also gone.
Let the girl ride.
You're right. I'm just saying we should be cautious having her round.
I agree with you, big man. 100%.
Great, and I like smack a big old hand on your back and agree. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
And certainly when we get back to Neverwinter, we should have her remain below decks. I'm sure the paladins and the wardens would not differentiate one undead from another.
True.
But this child, she deserves her day in the sun.
By all means, I don't want us to take that from her. I just also don't want us to, loads of lives.
Well, We are the wild cards. We will deal with it when we have to deal with it. But that day is not today. Look, she's already found her space at the wheel.
Well, then let's go. Get her in that sunlight.
Yeah, Nepeta is at the wheel. She's like, hurry up! I've waited 2,000 years for this.
Oh.
How big are these boats? Are these like skiffs that we could take one with us? Having a boat that sort of magically navigates.
They're like,
might be nice.
they're kind of the equivalent of like lifeguard sort of boats. You could like strap these to the side, and if the ship was sinking, you could get off on these like life rafts.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume Rufus could pick one of these up and just huff it up the gangplank pretty easy, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So they're big enough skiffs to like carry over your head. Probably two of them.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I imagine McGill going, like, perhaps Rufus. Rufus, as you like put it together. I'm like, all right, I'll grab the boat. Just small boat to put on the big boat.
Yes. You are just the most extraordinary man. You come up with all these wonderful ideas.
What could I say? You were my inspiration. And I guess Rufus walks over and like picks one up. I don't know how to strap it on, but he can carry it over there.
He probably just carried it, on his head.
Yeah. Just like,
you can sort of like Jack Sparrow the boat, with the help of... Actually, Rufus probably can more man it, to be honest. We've got the gangplank.
Cool. Yeah, I'll load up as many as we can put on this boat. We might as well have more than one.
I mean, the ship is pretty huge. I mean, you could put all 5 if you wanted to spend 20 minutes or so.
It's worth 20 minutes, absolutely.
You guys watch Rufus like boat.
Zephyr will just like put the whaling, the normal coast boats into the hold and put the magical ones in the same racks, and we can have one.
Ooh, I'm going to look to Nepeta. So Nepeta, you guided these boats to where they needed to go. Is that only here, or is that a property of the boat? Could these boats perhaps be a bit of our crew for close maneuvering as we go around? But having 5 on board, could they help us navigate? Or is it just something here in the...
Yes, the boats themselves have the ability to be charted to any location using the bells.
Oh. So, perhaps we are all the crew that we need. Look at that. So, we thought there was only 4 wild cards in a deck. Apparently, there are 5.
She beams.
And
little undead smile.
I make a big giant bow to Nepeta and a big hand gesture to Zephyr. We are back aboard your home. Chart us a course, pirate.
She's just a boat. But he goes up and he kicks out the same stool or level that he used whenever Farron was driving the Tempest Beloved. And then he sees her, Nepeta, and he kicks another one, and another one slides out. And it's like 2 additional steps and puts her behind the wheel. And kind of cups his hands around hers along the spokes of the wheel and just says, "Straight ahead, Captain."
Nice.
And he begins to lower rigging and everything.
Yeah, she begins to, charter the boat out of the tunnel and into the light for the first time. And you see Nepeta beaming with a huge smile across her face and a grin on her face as she is steering the boat through out of the cove and into the light, seeing that for the very first time in several thousand years. And at this point, as you guys leave the Dark Arcanum, everybody is going to level up to level 5.
Sure!
Boom. The one we've been waiting for, my friends.
The big one.
The big 5.
The big 5.
Oh, yeah. Level 5 is one of my favourite levels for characters to get to. It's when you can start to do some really cool stuff. Your path is starting to become more clear before you. After having defeated Valindra Shadowmantle and headed out of the Dark Arcanum back into Avalon, the path before you is clear to head back to Neverwinter to find whatever next phylactery lies within Lord Neverember's tower. And of course, the question still remains: what has happened to Lord Neverember? Why did he go? And why hasn't anyone seen him for the past few years? No doubt a mystery that the party will shortly be investigating. So I'll give these guys a couple of minutes to consider their level up and consider what we're going to take. Is anyone getting any cool stuff at level 5?
Because that's where I really start changing myself around a little bit, because I am going to take improved pack weapon so I can have a ranged weapon.
Nice.
That magic damage.
Also, I'm going to switch out, believe it or not, it has been very helpful up to this point. I'm going to switch out Mask of Many Faces to getting an extra attack.
Now that's going to be useful.
Yeah. So while before at lower levels, hiding was a big part of Miguel's offensive, now it is going to be a little bit more about actually hitting stuff, because I can have like a magical crossbow, or I think it'll probably be sort of serpent looking crossbow, the flying serpent crossbow that he's going to have. It can be like a heavy crossbow even. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool. And an extra attack is so useful as well.
Yep,
so
I got an extra attack too, which is nice. That came with my 5th level monk.
Yeah, level 5, that just doubles your odds of being able to hit something right there. The second chance, so I do love that.
Yeah. I also got the stunning strike.
Oh, yeah, that can like paralyze.
Oh, that's right. That's huge.
What's the stun effect?
Yeah, so that'll be nice.
Zephyr getting that extra attack as well at level 5.
Extra attack, extra 10 feet of movement, and I am 60 hit points.
Oh,
nice.
That is nice. Nice.
Ready to drop some pain.
That was funny. That last fight, I was like, I know what will get Zephyr. Like every time he hits, he has to take damage.
Yep.
That's the only way to get him down. Oh, that's good. And Farron.
It happens.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that fully does. Farron, you can feel free to take the average if you guys want to as well.
Okay.
Farron, what are you getting at this 5th level here?
I just get the extra attack and proficiency upgrade.
Oh, cool.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Proficiency upgrade is big.
Yeah, that'll be nice too to have.
Yeah, up to the +3. Am I going to rule that Miguel's ranged pack weapons create their own ammo or not? Yeah, I mean, ammo's not really a big problem for me in most cases. I don't ask you guys to really track much ammo. I assume that at all times we are refilling at, like, various opportunities where you might be able to refill ammo, you know. You don't have to, like, hold down F on any, like, barrels or anything to refill your ammunition. So you're all good. Cool. So, as you guys are leveling up and heading out on the ship, actually, one question for my own note keeping. So, Zephyr is on 60 HP. There it is. Oh man, that went up since the last time I had to count. I had 38 was my last count. Farron, what's your HP now?
43.
Ooh, nice. A lot higher as well. Miguel?
Would be, by taking the average, I will be at 44.
Nice. And Rufus?
49.
49. Nice. That is pretty good. 60, 43, 44, and 49. You guys are a lot harder to take down now. But never fear, for we begin the next leg of our adventure here in a few moments' time. So, let's do some level up scenes. I really enjoyed the level up moments from a couple of episodes ago when you went up to 4, and it seems like every time we level up, we're on the Tempest Beloved in some awesome sweeping moment of action. So, let's see. So, Rufus, what does your level up look like? Is there any moment that Rufus has, or any like effects that activate?
Yeah. So Rufus needed some this was a lot. For him, and he needed some silence and some meditation time. So he goes down below deck, starts a pot of soup, which is a meditative process for him, and begins to meditate. And a lot of his time in the monastery where he was learning his monk training, he has repressed. And in this moment of meditation, a flashback remounts in his head of a special move that they taught him. That's a pressure point in the neck, which causes a stunning strike on their on his enemy. And this like memory washes over him of how to do it, and he comes kind of gasping out of a meditative stance, or this meditative process, realizing that he too now remembers how to cast or hit that stunning strike.
Awesome, great stuff. What about Zephyr?
Zephyr is going about the ship as he normally does, just rushing around and making sure things are tied, redoubling knots, checking the rigging. But when everything is as fit as can be and the Tempest Beloved is, as his mother said, gently making waves, he will ascend to the crow's nest. And as he is up there looking out over this odd sea in this different place, he won't see the differences. He'll see the similarities, and he'll see the water, and it'll remind him of his father. And as he's up there, he will flip out over the side of the crow's nest, dangling free, 50, 60 feet from the decking, and he begins to slowly pull himself up and drop, and pull himself up and drop. And each time as he does it over and over again, the muscles in his back rippling, and as his tattoos and his scarification along his body begin to glisten with sweat, they also begin to glow with electricity. And each time as he pulls himself up, he seems to get a little stronger, a little faster. And as he reaches the threshold of his endurance, as he pulls himself up, he looks out over this ocean that he's never sailed before. He smiles and he says, "I'm waiting, Father."
Nice. Farron, what about yourself?
I imagine it's probably something simple. Like these past few combats, she's been able to use her action surge, and maybe through repeated use of that is how she gains this extra attack. Is now she's so used to being able to exert that extra energy to attack twice that it's not really a struggle anymore, and she's able to do it.
Super cool. And last but not least, Miguel.
So I think Miguel is training with his glaive, and it has these two serpents that sort of intertwine, almost sort of like the medicine symbol, sort of up this staff. And he's swinging, and he missed, when it was kind of critical a couple of times. And while he does like the reach of it, he sort of is thinking about the Eldritch Blast and how he shot it from above. And as he's sort of twirling around on the deck and being very sort of dexterous, he's just imagining his being able to reach further with his weapon. And as one of the times as he spins around, the glaive sort of turns into just golden light, and the two serpents untwine and spread out. Basically these wings on the serpent that weren't there spread out. And as he makes a 360-degree turn, he's holding this sort of painted heavy crossbow in his hand, where the crossbar is made of the wings, and right down the center of the body of it is a serpent, its mouth open with fangs, where the bolt will shoot out through its mouth. He kind of realizes it and kind of feels this new energy and this gift from Kotal Khan, his patron, that has bestowed upon him. And as he does that, he looks up and sees Zephyr up there, doing his training, and sort of the smile on his face. And he remembers how Zephyr would keep hitting both Ferris and Valindra. And he walks over to Nepeta and goes, "You have lived many years and seen many, many things.
True.
I am perhaps wondering if you might lend me your favor for just a little while we travel." I am looking for a way to interrupt these devastating spells that are caused by the forces that we are up against. I was been blessed by Kotal Khan and was wondering if perhaps your knowledge could teach me a way to counter those spells that are cast against us. As at this level, I didn't even realize that I get my level 3 spells and want to learn counter spell.
I figured, yeah. She says...
Yeah, kind of dropping enough hints there.
Yeah. I want to counter this spell. Yeah, she says, my brother knew such magic. Yes, I believe I could teach you what he showed me.
Well, perhaps when you are not on steering duty, we can do a little training, and I can take you for a flight, let you dangle your feet in the water as well. And so I figure over the next day or two, Nepeta and I, either up in the crow's nest or on the bow, using my radiant soul whenever I can to sort of give her sort of this joy of flying out over through the sea spray and the sun, and she teach me counterspell so that I can perhaps help protect our little band of wild cards against such magics.
Very nice. So, yes, over the next 2 or 3 days, the group of you travel on the Tempest Beloved with Nepeta. And this gives you, of course, a chance to take a long rest, which allows you to regain your hit points and slots and hit dice and any other things that restore.
Soup. There's soup.
And soup. Indeed, Nepeta makes a mean cup of tea. She's been at it for about 2,000 years, so she's.
Oh, Rufus may learn something.
She's pretty good with that tea. So yeah, she helps you guys, and you're sailing upon. You're clearly not upon like your own world when you're sailing. There is like an eternal sun in this place outside from the Dark Arcanum, and the sky is the same blue-purple that it was when you were in the castle of Avalon as well. You're clearly still in that same dimension that you were on, and after a few days of sailing, you return. You see the castle of Avalon looming in the distance. This huge edifice. I think I described it as like 5 times the size of like Minas Tirith. This thing is gigantic. It does have a little dock area, and eventually the ship will pull up and be able to stop there. And Nepeta looks back at you guys from the wheel of the ship, says, "Well, we're here. This is Avalon. So haven't been here before. It's kind of nice. A lot of blue."
Yes.
So you were telling me this Esmeralda woman's here?
We hope so. We know Valindra. Well, Lindy. No, not Lindy.
Alora.
Alora Deep Shaft.
Alora said she came through Thunderfinger's gate. That is where Esmeralda was. I fear for their lives and their safety. Perhaps I do not know what we will find.
Yes, we should go check in to make sure everyone's okay.
You can definitely see that there's been damage to parts of the wall where Valindra like smashed through. There is the gate that you're approaching has in fact been destroyed, so there is no like misty barrier up stopping anyone from entering. You can walk clear into the courtyard. There are still a lot of phase hounds around. Or blink dogs.
Are there any bodies?
Sure, roll me a perception check.
Okay. I know that sounds silly, but 17.
17's pretty good. You can definitely spot bodies lying around. In fact, as you're walking up to the kind of blue city walls, castle walls of Avalon, you can make out a figure on the floor, not far away from here, all dressed in white. you recognize this to be Archmage Candace, who did indeed spend her life defending the city of Avalon as she foretold.
I run over. You said she's still alive?
She's dead.
Oh. Yeah, I run over and check her, and I look at the group with like big old teary eyes, and I'm like, I know we just killed her, but I want to kill her again.
There's a big like hole through her chest where she got hit by a power word kill.
Yeah, Rufus is just like, I want to bring Valindra back just so I can kill her again.
Well, speaking of that.
Damn it. Did I speak too soon?
No, don't worry.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else are there any of the children around, or does it look the other bodies? Can we identify them?
This should be the north gate then. If Candace is down, we're going through the north
Yeah,
gate.
you're going through the north gate. You can
Oh, that's right.
see that there are plenty of bodies around of the undead monkey creatures, which you believe to have hailed in origin from Chult, but that Valindra carried with her. Candace looks like she gave a good account of herself. There are dozens of them dead here. You can see where like frost magic was used to freeze them. Several of them are actually frozen in place like statues. It looks like a similar spell to that which Ferris cast, that sort of cone of cold, if you will. But no other humans around it you can see.
We should go to Southgate? That's where we started. We should check on everybody else.
Okay.
Agreed.
I was like
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Stare silently at Rufus. Yeah. Okay, so you want to take just the direct path, or do you want to take like the castle walls like you did previously?
If there's still dogs around, we should snake the walls again. I don't feel like dealing with the puppy dogs.
Yeah, so you can head through the various different towers. It's going to take you several hours to get back there, but there's nothing of great import that happens along the way, other than seeing various different blink dogs around in the area. It looks like several of them were, I say several of them, probably dozens of them were murdered during Valindra's entrance into the Dark Arcanum. And eventually you will head back to the North Gate, except from the fact... Sorry, the South Gate, except from the fact that the tower there is not there anymore. There was a tower there before, there is not a tower there anymore.
Oof.
It's not rubble or anything, it's just gone.
It's just gone? There was a tower there, yeah? I looked at you, I'm not crazy.
There was.
It takes a lot of power to make a tower just disappear.
It does. I start moving more quickly and encourage everyone else to as well.
Yeah, I join you in your pace.
Okay. As you get towards the, where you thought the southern tower was, it's definitely not there.
Put my hand out to feel for it.
You can roll me a perception check here, Rufus.
Oh.
Look at that.
Oh boy. So that's what, 13th? 13th now 20 of today?
Yeah.
Just so in case anyone's counting. Rufus, you gotta put your hand out and you put it out a little bit more and you can feel where the wall is. There's some kind of illusion up which is making it not there.
Rufus goes, oh, look, I found it, it's right here. It didn't go anywhere, it's just, it tricked us.
Esmeralda.
Can I perceive where a door would be and the hand?
Sure, you can make out about where you think the door will be on that 20.
Okay.
So you do so, and you hear a voice on the other side that you recognize to be that of Stormfingers. Who's there? No one's in. No one's home. Nope. No one's here.
Stormfingers, it is us. We've returned.
Oh, yep. Yeah. Oh, you good. I knew it was you guys. If it was a lich, I wouldn't have said that. So I guess you can come in for a moment. You know what a door is? We're trying to keep it low in case there's, bad guys around.
Right.
Also, can anyone create food or water? The kids in here are getting pretty hungry.
The kids, they're all safe.
Just get inside, will you?
Yep. On our way. You just open that door there, sir.
It's open. You just can't see it.
Oh, so we walk through the wall. Walk through the nothing.
The nothingness.
You walk through the nothingness, through the empty space, and on the inside, your vision kind of like materializes before you the inside of the tower, with the 93 kids, High Mage Esmeralda, and Stormfingers inside. The group of you and Nepeta walk in, and you can see Stormfingers at his panel, and he seals up the door again. Esmeralda walks towards you, and a bunch of the kids look very excited to see you as well. Plenty of yelps and cries of excitement as you walk in. They're back, etc. So Esmeralda steps forwards. It's good to see you all again. Are you? She looks down at Nepeta. What have you brought? Here?
This is Nepeta. She was vital.
I'm a lich, she says.
Yeah. And vital to our defeat of Ferris, who was in fact a simulacrum of Asarak himself.
Esmeralda, you're gonna need to sit her down for 10 minutes and explain everything that's gone on.
Yeah.
Which we can hand wave that sort of explanation. You sit down.
I catch her as she
From
faints.
the beginning, I said that I didn't like Ferris. Everybody made me work with Ferris, and I told you from the beginning, and now here we are.
She did.
And yes, as Chatwood has mentioned, it is 92 kids.
That's true. Well, as far as you guys know, I mean, you haven't counted them.
Well, I'm talking. They were talking about Ferris being.
Oh yeah, I mean, as far as you guys know. I mean, there's 93 with Nepeta. Unless there were 93 in there. I mean, you didn't check for, the Simulacrum. I want to do a head count when you come back in. So, you sit her down with Esmeralda and explain to her over the next 10 to 15 minutes everything that happened. So she says, so you haven't seen Archmage Casimir since you entered into the Dark Arcanum?
No, we did not. He was going to meet us.
Was he?
He was. Did he not say that he did not have to pass the trial, so he was going to meet us on the other side, yet he never did. But perhaps Valindra, that would be... I looked at Nepeta and just say, Nepeta, do you... While you were guardian...
She's playing with the kids. They're all scared of her, but also fascinated by her.
Nepeta, did you... While you were the guardian, did you see the other archmage who arrived with us? What happened to him?
The old man?
Yes.
I didn't like him very much. He'd always come by, looking for things. Usually knowledge on phylacteries and the like. My brother made sure that I never told him anything too much, but I think he knew a lot more than he really let on.
Oh, no. And while you were busy with us, he was able to roam free?
I mean, I guess so. I was kind of busy with the five of you. Four of you.
I'm not judging. We would not have survived without your help. But
it's possible. I mean, I guess I've never really not been at my post before, but...
We were warned by our friend, and he sort of motions back out to the courtyard, that he could perhaps be tempted.
Esmeralda nods gravely. It is entirely possible, but perhaps a matter for another day. You say that you know the next location, the next phylactery that Asarak has hidden away. Where is it?
Oh, it's very nice. It's back it's back home. It is it is in Never Ember Tower. We'll just go and grab it.
Never Ember Tower? Well, that might be difficult.
Why?
You must be aware that Lord Neverember has sealed himself away there for the past few years. No one's seen sight nor sound of him. It's protected by his own personal bodyguards, mages and mercenaries alike. They're not letting anyone inside. And I can't teleport you inside there either. It's warded. I can get you back to Neverwinter if that's what you want, of course. I think it best that me and the children stay here, at least for a while.
Group huddle. And we need a group huddle.
You may feel free to huddle. Although you should know that I can hear everything you say. I'm a high mage.
It's not for you, it's for the children.
I will try not to listen. But you should know that I can.
As soon as we get in the huddle, the first thing Zephyr says is, just remember, she had Asarak's Simulacrum under her control for years. So she's not all-knowing.
It's true.
That is true, yeah.
It's true, she's not.
Even
Okay.
when we said we didn't like him, even when we brought it up and we said something was fishy.
Farron knew that kid for 5 seconds and knew there was something up.
I'm not going to debate none of this with you. I say we leave the little one here. We should leave her here. She'll be safe, and if she really is a phylactery, then we're in control of it.
There's two things about.
She'll
Go
be
ahead.
safe with the Archmage.
Well, and that I think we have said that we will let her have a choice. If she would like to stay with the children, finally have her childhood, because certainly if we are going back and have to face Pontimus as well, he is tied up in all of this. The 93 children, they need to be safe, and she is a child in our care now. But
True.
And if leaving her here could possibly bring more aggression towards the kids, they are hidden now. There's no reason to come here anymore, unless we leave her.
let's give her the choice.
I guess.
Yeah, Nepetak's like off playing with the kids. She looks pretty happy. She look kind of, you can like tag her over. Hey, what's up?
We were wondering whether you would like to join us in this next leg of our adventure,
Neverwinter.
or to stay here with the children, where you can be a child again.
Wow.
And be safe. Be safe.
I mean, I've been safe for about 2,000 years, and I've kind of over being a child. So I'd like to see the world. I never got a chance to see yours, and the world that I come from is long forgotten now. So, sure, I'd love to see Neverwinter.
Then you are welcome.
I need to hide my phylactery somewhere. Is this a good place? Or should I carry it with me?
This would be a very good place to hide that phylactery.
It would.
Okay. She like pops it down. Esmeralda's like, I'm going to need to, it's just like a kid that's just put down like a plate of food like on a sofa or something, and Esmeralda's like, oh no, I'll just, how about I look after this for a while? Nepetak, is it? Nepetak shrugs. Sure. I'd like to see you break it. Esmeralda kind of like smiles, like she's really uncomfortable about this little girl being a lich and that she's looking after her phylactery. Perhaps with this I can find more information on phylacteries. Perhaps I'll even be able to trace down another couple of them for you. I'll be hard at work here.
Yes. This contains the ashes of Asarak's blood, his sister. If you have divination, there is a direct connection between the ashes in this and Asarak himself.
In that case, I will set to my studies. I'll be as careful as can possibly be without revealing our own location. Avalon should keep us safe, though. In the meantime, Stormfingers will be repairing the gates, won't you, Stormfingers? Oh, yep, that on gate repair duty. Really good at repairing gates, I am. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and what's his what's his butt will be popping back in at some point, who Farron expertly banished from the East Tower.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
That guy.
Usually they'll come back. Usually they come back within a few minutes, and it's been a while, so any moment now.
It usually takes about 24 hours. It's possible he's already there. I'll see to it.
Right.
Well, all right.
Now about this, teleporting us to city. Can you do it with a boat too?
Excuse me?
Right.
Yes. Well, yes, of course. But we don't have the boat anymore. That was left back in Neverwinter, if you remember,
Right.
Rufus.
We have a surprise for you.
Yes,
I am not as dumb as I look or sound. Or
Indeed. Very well. What do you have to show me?
We'll take her outside to the wall and gesture down towards the cove where the Tempest Beloved is docked. And Zephyr will proudly say, "She does not sink."
Rufus is like,
it's the boat.
I see. Well, I stand corrected, Rufus. Very well. Give me 24 hours, and I will see to it. Although, perhaps I should see to Ormond first.
Perhaps.
Yeah, we could.
She rolls.
Should
She
you-
rolls up her sleeves, and she's headed off to the tower.
Oh. You done pissed off McGonagall. We all shudder as we see her leave with purpose.
You're like, oh, someone's gonna get destroyed.
Oh, snakies.
Yeah, there's you watch her for a couple of minutes from the wall. There's maybe about 20 seconds of magic sounds coming from within the tower of explosions being cast, and then 20 seconds later, Esmeralda walks out with Ormond's head in her hand.
You see all the blink dogs just shuddering as she walks by.
Yeah,
It's they know who the big dog is.
Yeah. She grabs the head and just chucks it out to the dogs, and then she Misty steps back up to the tower wall with you all. Nasty business. Anyway, about this teleportation spell.
Zephyr nods. Nice.
I find myself even more attracted to you now than I was before.
I find myself equally, if not more, repulsed by you, but I appreciate it.
I get that a lot.
She heads down to the boat and begins to cast the spell back to Avalon. So you've got 24 hours of downtime in Avalon to do what you so desire, which, activities in Avalon could be many things. You've got the kids there, Nepeta is here, you've got loads of research and magical notes around. Esmeralda says, oh, one last thing, I have a couple of things back for you in the tower. Stormfingers will give them to you.
That would be wonderful.
Stuff. Yep. Okay.
Stuff and things.
Stuff and things. We want to stuff some things.
Those are two of our favorite things. Stuff and
The stuff.
And it's not stuff. We like the things, too.
Yeah, you have to have both, in fact.
Yeah.
It's actually not
Equal
one or
opportunity.
the other. It's they're together.
The things get overlooked a lot, but the things are good as
Stuff.
well. It's not just the stuff. So, you guys can head back to the tower. Stormfingers is there. Says, oh, I've got a couple of things Esmeralda said for me to give you that you might find useful. Goes into a very poorly organized chest. Brings out a vicious-looking longbow and hands it to Farron, made of a dark wood. That's for you!
Oh.
And I say this, that it's vicious, because it is indeed a vicious longbow. When you roll a 20 with this magical weapon, the target takes an extra 2d6 of piercing damage. There's cool ammunition properties as well, and you can treat this weapon as an improvised weapon if you wish to shoot with it. I've got a link for you there in the Zoom chat.
Nice.
So I should find that useful for banishing any extra mages around, He brings out a pair of braces and hands them to Rufus. This should help with, taking a couple of hits. I heard that you go down a lot, and you might want a bit of help with that. These are the braces of defense, which give you a +2 bonus to AC if you're wearing no armor and not using a shield.
Yeah. He goes, he pats them on it. Little bad. These are snap. These are great.
You're welcome. I picked it myself. Thirdly, he brings out a dagger and says, you seem like you might like snakes, and your god got stuff to do with snakes." Hands them to Miguel. This is the dagger of venom.
Nice.
Using the power of Kublai Khan, +1 to attack and damage rolls with this magic weapon. You can use an action to cause a thick black poison to coat the blade, which remains for 1 minute, or until the attack hits a creature. It can be DC 15 Constitution saving throw, or they take an extra 2d10 poison damage and become poisoned for 1 minute. Can't be used again this way until dawn, but either way it gives you +1 and to attack and damage. That's pretty
Very nice.
And looks over towards Zephyr for a second, smirks. "I know what I'll do." Goes back into the chest and brings out a cloak. It is a cloak made from the skin of a manta ray. And indeed, this is the cloak of the manta ray, which always blows as if in a sea breeze, much like the rest of Zephyr's hair. This allows you to breathe underwater, and have a swim speed of 60 feet.
Nice.
It's Christmas time on Learn by Play.
It is Christmas time.
Hopefully I'll find that useful. You got a bit of time to kill, so get up to whatever you want to get up to, and Esmeralda will be ready in a bit.
The city is basically deserted, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Can we do a little scout around, maybe in some investigation, to see if we can find like old alchemy places, to see if maybe we could find some healing potions?
Sure, yeah. Roll me an investigation check, and we'll see what Miguel can turn up for the next 24 hours.
Oh, I'm not good at this, but let's see. Oh, yeah, Miguel sucks.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He's playing with his dagger the whole time.
Yeah, he's like,
very enamored with his new snaky dagger.
Yeah, it's distracting a bit, but you do find a lab of alchemy stuff. Unfortunately, all of the ingredients in there look like they've either just gone over time, or they're broken by blink dogs that have managed to get inside and bust up the place. Rufus, what do you want to get up to?
I feel like Rufus is going to want to go play with the kids and chat with the kids. And he picks up on actually what Miguel's putting down and decides that maybe the kids are the answer for brewing up potions and stuff. Maybe one of them has an alchemy background and we know what to do with the things. So Rufus goes and becomes a jungle gym for the kids long enough to maybe scout out and see if there's one of the kids or a group of the kids that are alchemy based.
Yeah. Roll me a persuasion check. See if you can persuade one of these kids to stop screwing around and make some alchemy. Sure thing. The kids will manage to brew up an extra healing potion for each of you over the course of the 24 hours. It's got a polyjuice potion. It tastes really bad, but apparently it works.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I win it like a rock, paper, scissors or something.
The stale one saved our lives, so...
That's true. That's true. Okay. Yeah, a lot of the kids are asking after Ferris as well. So, that is a question that either can be answered by you guys or can be answered by High Mage Esmeralda, depending on what you want. Does Rufus want to answer that question, or would he leave that?
They keep asking him about Ferris.
Oh, yeah. They wonder where he's gone.
Ferris, in fact, was a lot smarter and older than he said. And because he was older, he was no longer allowed to be part of the school. When you get old enough, you got to grow up and go out into the real world. Well, he kind of went out into the real world. And
is that going to happen to us? Are we going to have to leave soon?
No, you're here for long times. How old are you?
I'm only a couple of months younger than Ferris.
Oh, see, like I said, Ferris was actually lying about how old he was.
Farron is Ferris was thousands of years old.
Because she's just exaggerated. What she's trying to say is, he was actually no longer really a teenager. He was an adult, and he had to go be and do adult things.
Well, where did he go?
That means that there are.
Which city?
You know what? He didn't go to a city. He went to find his sister, and he went home.
His sister was dead. He always talked about that.
Yes, he went to see her grave.
That would be in a city, wouldn't it?
No. Maybe. I don't really know the answer to that question, so I'm not going to lie to you on it. But I will tell you this. He is doing what he's got to do. He'll be back. Probably not.
He'll be back.
Probably not.
Probably not. The kids seem satisfied enough, or at least they get bored of us.
Yeah, he's just trying to like dodge the question, be like, he's just doing his own thing right now. Ferris.
Yeah, they probably get bored enough to stop
Yeah,
asking.
yeah, Rufus just keeps talking.
And what about Farron? What does Farron get up to here?
Baron is probably like doing something similar, like browsing, like around and perusing and trying to listen to what these kids are saying and seeing if there's like someone who's even remotely as advanced as Ferris was. Even though she hated him so much, he did teach her a lot of like cool stuff, and so she's like messing around with her old longbow, not this new one, and like doing an actual terrible job of firing it. And she's like, "Oh no! If only someone knew how to teach me new things." Hoping someone like bites the bait, and I'm imagining no one does because no one else knows.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes, all of the other kids were nowhere near as well trained as Ferris was, being the simulacrum of Asteroid.
Yeah, like the
However,
whole listening.
Stormfingers will help you out a little bit. He's maybe not a very good archer, but he is at the very least a pretty competent spellcaster, so he can definitely help you out a little bit, although he is fairly terrible at everything he does. So
Yeah,
most aspects of his job he is poor at. But there's that. He's quite fun at least. And then Zephyr.
Zephyr will spend a lot of his time down at the Tempest Beloved, just walking the decks and walking the boards. And at one point towards sundown, or whatever passes for sundown here in Avalon, he will pull up the hood of the Cloak of the Manta Ray and dive into the water. He will stay beneath for an hour, 2 hours, as he looks underneath and kind of just, make sure that the underneath of the Tempest Beloved is sound and secure and there's no sundered areas. And then he'll push away from the Tempest Beloved and float, several meters beneath the surface and just kind of let his arms come out as his hair kind of drifts with the water and with the cloak. And he will say one word, Father, as he floats in the darkness.
And at that point, that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Learn by Play. Very nice, everybody. Nicely done, everybody. Defeating a lich,
Very nice.
destroying a phylactery, leveling up to level 5, getting a ton of magic items, getting some stuff, and some things. That's how we do it. Well, my friends, that's what we're ending tonight's episode of Learn by Play, because Heroes Graveyard is coming up in a few minutes' time, so stick around. It's going to be a great episode, I'm sure. If you guys enjoyed tonight's episode, please do let us know. If you enjoyed our own cast, you can follow us over at Encounter Roleplay, where we're doing a bunch of new productions. We've got a new season starting over there next week, in just a couple of days' time now. So if you enjoyed the show, you can follow us, and you can find us here. It is always a pleasure to play for you guys here every Saturday. Hopefully you guys learned a couple of tips and tricks as well in creating history for our world. And as I mentioned before, all of the PowerPoints will shortly be available to you guys for your own use. But let's go around the cast and crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Let's start with Tool School. As always, Tool School. What do you think?
I had a blast. I mean, what an amazing battle. I mean, it was as epic as you could possibly imagine. It was like we were either missing or critting, and so it pretty much was right in. It was like almost perfect for our characters and who we are. We're just these sort of crazy wild cards that you either flip over the card and get an ace, or you flip over the card and get a 2. And so it was great. I thought it was interesting, fun battle having Razni there, trying to keep control of him. And then it's always fun to role play the level ups. I think it's really neat what we did with Nepeta. I think that's an interesting twist that probably I'm not sure if you were expecting or not, but I think
I liked it.
Definitely be an interesting twist through the rest of this, that we have sort of this lich on our side, possibly. I think we'll see, and let's see how that all plays out as we. I mean, I think certainly we reinvented the realms tonight, and it was awesome. I had a great time. You can find me out on social media at Tall Squall. My pinned tweet has links to all the other stuff that I do. If you do find me out there, say you found me here on Learn by Play, and have a great rest of y'all's weekend. and the tabletop weekend.
Absolutely. Yes, happy International Tabletop Day as well, everybody. Or, well, kind of over here in the UK, but still going in America, and that's what counts. Sid, same questions for you.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm back. I'm here. Hello, everyone. Yeah, it was a good game. I'm jealous of everybody else's fun stuff. They get a level 5. Wait till we get to level 7. I get everything at level 7. then you'll all see. But yeah, it was a good game, and I didn't think we were gonna live, and we did. So surprises all around. But in the meantime, you can follow me here, Twitter at Sydneyak, and you can find me pretty much everywhere. That username: Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all those things. And I'm linking it in chat there if you want to come and say hi. I'm also the Dungeon Master for WonderQuest Podcast. You can follow that on Twitter at WonderQuest Pod, which I will also link in the chat. Super fun. We play a lot of games and cry a lot. All great things. And I play Ari on Turncloaks. You can follow that on Twitter at Turncloaks.
Thanks, Sid. And Greg.
Oh man, I had a great time as always here on Wizards of the Coast, doing a little International Tabletop Day, playing D&D on D&D. It doesn't get better than this. From a 1980s nerd who lived through the Satan Crisis, here we are in the light of day in Avalon, reinventing the Forgotten Realms. It is absolutely fantastic. Chat was on point, had a fantastic time, got a wondrous item, leveled up to 5, killed 2 liches. Ladies and gentlemen, boxes checked, and checked. Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and the Twitters. Come and join me over on my channel. Come and join me over on Encounter Roleplay. We do Cthulhu, we do D&D, we do all kinds of fun stuff. But here's where it's at, and we'll see you next week at 6 Eastern.
Thank you, Greg. And last but not least, Chelsea.
Yep, as always, I have had a blast. Playing Rufus is like a highlight always of my week, and for today, of course, like what better day to play my favorite character and all the many games I play on. So if you want to check all those other games out, when I'm not here on Saturdays, thanks to Wizards of the Coast, I'm over on a bunch of other places, and I keep a schedule up on my Twitter. So you can check it out. I'm little_red_dot, pretty much all the social medias. You can check out my links. I've got a Discord channel, so cool stuff there. Yeah, and the big one is I do a 5e podcast that you can also check out. I have links for it there on the socials. Until, I guess, next week. Yeah?
Indeed, yeah. Every Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern, you can join us here for Learn by Play every episode. New adventure every episode, a new DM world tip for you guys, so join us then. But look forward to the Heroes Graveyard starting in about 2 minutes time here, so stick around for that. Koibu and Trump, and I think Obo Crazy's on as well today, so it's going to be a great episode. Can't wait for it. Thank you guys for watching us as always. A big thanks to Wizards of the Coast for allowing us to do this over here at Encounter Roleplay. We love you guys, you're such an amazing audience, and until next time, try and throw too many net ones because we want to be laughing when you do. Good night, everybody. Bye.